Hello everyone, welcome to the What If Anime YouTube channel. Today, we are diving into an exciting new story that will take your imagination to the next level. Let's get started. What if Naruto exiled and returned with Thunder Dōjutsu? Subscribe if you enjoy the video. The orange-clad figure stumbled through the village gates of Kanehigakure at dawn, leaving a crimson trail on the cobblestone path. Naruto Uzumaki's torn jumpsuit clung to his battered frame, soaked through with blood, some his own, some his best friend's. His knuckles were split and raw, his face swollen with purple bruises that told the story of his devastating failure. The valley of the end, he muttered through cracked lips, each word scraping his throat like broken glass. The images flashed behind his eyelids, Sasuke's curse marks spreading like black flames, the Chidori piercing his chest, and worst of all, that final smirk before the Uchiha vanished into darkness. Village guards rushed forward, their faces a blur of concern and barely concealed judgment. Naruto pushed past them, ignoring their questions, their attempts to steady him. His legs moved on autopilot, carrying him toward the Hokage Tower where he knew his fate awaited. Tsunade's office buzzed with tension as the emergency council assembled. The circular room, with its high vaulted ceiling and ceremonial banners, suddenly felt suffocating. Sunlight streaming through the tall windows caught the dust motes dancing in the air, creating an almost ethereal atmosphere that contrasted sharply with the grim proceedings below. This is unacceptable. Tsunade's fist slammed onto the massive oak table, sending papers flying. Her amber eyes blazed with fury as she glared at the assembled counselors. Naruto fought with everything he had. He nearly died trying to bring Sasuke back. Danzo Shimura leaned forward from the shadows, his bandaged arm and face making him appear more specter than man. And yet he failed, Hokage-sama. The Uchiha has defected with invaluable clan secrets, and our Jinchuriki has proven incapable of stopping him. The word Jinchuriki hung in the air like poison gas, making several counselors shift uncomfortably in their seats. Uzumaki's condition makes him particularly susceptible to the corrupting influence of the Nine Tails. Hamiura Mitokado adjusted his glasses, his wizened face creased with calculated concern. These events demonstrate that we cannot rely on his stability. You dare suggest? Tsunade's chakra flared, cracking the floor beneath her feet. I suggest nothing, Danzo interrupted smoothly. I merely present facts. The boy harbors the most powerful of the tailed beasts. He has repeatedly shown a tendency toward transformation when emotionally compromised. And now he has failed in a mission of critical importance to village security. Koharu Yudate nodded slowly. The council must consider all possibilities to protect Konoha. This is about protecting Naruto, Tsunade roared. He's been fighting for this village since he was 12 years old. Sentiment has no place in strategic decisions. Danzo's single visible eye narrowed. I propose a temporary exile. 6 months abroad will allow the village to stabilize and give young Uzumaki time to reconsider his priorities. The room erupted into heated debate. Voices overlapped and clashed like dueling kunai. Exile is too harsh. The boy needs discipline, not coddling. What message does this send to our allies? What message does harboring an unstable Jinchuriki send to our enemies? Tsunade's heart pounded against her ribs as she watched her sensei's governmental machine grind inexorably forward. The vote was called. 5 hands rose in favor of exile. 3 remained firmly on the table, including her own trembling fist. The motion passes, Koharu announced in her reedy voice. Naruto Uzumaki is hereby exiled from the village hidden in the leaves for a period of 6 months. The words echoed in the chamber like a death knell. Tsunade slumped back in her chair, suddenly looking every bit her true age. Through the window, she could see storm clouds gathering on the horizon. The afternoon sun painted Konoha in shades of amber and gold as Naruto prepared to leave. He'd been given 24 hours to settle his affairs and say his goodbyes. In his apartment, he moved methodically, packing his belongings into a weathered travel pack. Instant ramen cups clinked together like hollow promises. His forehead protector, cracked from the battle, caught his reflection in the mirror. When had those dark circles appeared under his eyes? When had his smile lost its brightness? The knock at his door was hesitant, almost apologetic. Come in, he called, securing his pack. Sakura entered first, her medical training evident in how her eyes immediately scanned him for injuries. Behind her came Irika-sensei, Shikamaru, And surprisingly, Kakashi-sensei, his mask failing to hide the guilt in his visible eye. "You don't have to go, Naruto," Sakura said softly, stepping closer. Her hands glowed with healing chakra as she reached for his bruised face. He caught her wrist gently. "It's okay, Sakura-chan. Maybe this is what I need." 6 months, Shikamaru leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "It's troublesome, but it's not forever." The council's decision was politically motivated, Kakashi stated bluntly. "You know that, right?" Danzo's been maneuvering for weeks. Naruto's jaw tightened. "I know. But I couldn't bring Sasuke back. Maybe they're right about me being unstable. I lost control so many times during the fight. No." Iruka's voice cracked with emotion. He stepped forward and placed both hands on Naruto's shoulders. "You're the most stable person I know. You fight for what's right, even when it costs you everything." "Yeah, well," Naruto managed a weak smile. "Cost me my home this time. Your home will be here when you return," Kakashi promised. "We'll all be here." The group formed a loose circle, sharing memories and making promises. Sakura healed what wounds she could. Iruka pressed money into Naruto's hands despite his protests. Shikamaru offered strategic advice about traveling alone. Kakashi handed over his spare kunai pouch. "I'll get stronger," Naruto declared as they reached his door. "When I come back, I'll be strong enough to bring Sasuke home." And maybe he paused, looking out his window toward the mountain faces. "Maybe I'll prove I deserve to stay." "You already deserve it, Dobe," Shikamaru muttered, looking away. The village gates loomed ahead, twin sentinels framing Naruto's departure. Dawn was breaking, painting the sky in riots of orange and red, colors that once symbolized his unwavering optimism but now felt like cruel mockery. His pack sat heavy on his shoulders, filled with the bare essentials, clothing, rations, basic ninja supplies, and Iruka's envelope of Rio. He'd left behind his Konoha headband, leaving it on his apartment's windowsill. What right did he have to wear it now? Village guards watched him pass, their faces carefully neutral. Some nodded respectfully, others couldn't meet his eyes. Naruto kept his gaze forward, spine straight despite exhaustion. At the gate's threshold, he paused. Behind him lay everything he'd ever known. Every ramen stand, every training ground, every place where someone had finally seen him as more than a monster. Ahead stretched the unknown, a world that would neither know nor care about the 9 tails sealed within him. "This isn't goodbye," he whispered to the village. Lightning flickered in the distant clouds, as if nature itself was responding to his declaration. "I'll be back. Stronger. Better." With that promise hanging in the dawn air, Naruto Uzumaki crossed the boundary line and began his exile. The village hidden in the leaves receded behind him, growing smaller with each determined step until it vanished entirely, swallowed by morning mist and the dense forest that surrounded it. He didn't look back. The road ahead twisted through ancient woods, where sunlight struggled to penetrate the thick canopy. Each footfall carried him further from everything he'd known, yet with each meter traveled, something unexpected stirred within him. Not quite hope. The wound was too fresh for that. But something harder, more resilient. Determination. As the day wore on, Naruto settled into a traveling rhythm. Mile after mile disappeared beneath his feet. The familiar chakra of Konoha's barrier faded until even his enhanced senses couldn't detect it. He was alone in ways he never experienced before. Not the loneliness of being hated, but the solitude of being untethered. By midday, storm clouds had gathered in earnest. The first raindrops began to fall, quickly building into a downpour that soaked through his clothes. But Naruto didn't seek shelter. The rain felt cleansing, washing away the dust of defeat, the sting of failure. 6 months, he muttered, wiping water from his eyes. 6 months to become someone worthy of Konoha. Someone who can save Sasuke. Someone who can prove Danzo wrong. Thunder rumbled overhead, and for just a moment, Naruto thought he caught something unusual in the lightning's flash. Not just electricity in the clouds, but something alive, almost watching. He shook off the fanciful notion and pressed on, unaware that his path was already being observed by forces far beyond anything he could imagine. The storm intensified as dusk approached, forcing him to seek refuge beneath an enormous oak tree. As he huddled against its ancient trunk, wringing water from his clothes, Naruto allowed himself one moment of doubt. Was this all a mistake? He asked the darkness. Should I have fought the council's decision? The tree groaned in response as wind lashed its branches. Naruto closed his eyes, thinking of Irika's steady belief, Kakashi's hidden concern, Sakura's healing hands. They believed in him, even when Konoha's leadership did not. No, he decided firmly. This is my path now. I'll make it count. As night fell completely, Naruto made camp in a small clearing he discovered beyond the oak. Despite his exhaustion, sleep eluded him. Every sound in the forest seemed amplified. The hoot of owls, the rustle of small animals, the whisper of leaves. Lying on his back, staring up at the storm-darkened sky, Naruto traced constellations he couldn't name. His mind wandered to Jiraiya's stories about ninja who'd left their villages and returned as legends. Would that be his story too? Or would he become just another exile, forgotten by the place he'd called home? Thunder boomed again, closer now. In the lightning's afterimage, Naruto could have sworn he saw a figure standing at the edge of the clearing. But when he blinked, only darkness remained. Getting jumpy, he chided himself. Pull yourself together, Naruto. He rolled onto his side, using his pack as a pillow. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, and he'd need his strength. But as consciousness finally claimed him, one thought echoed through his mind. This exile would change everything. In his dreams, thunder spoke with a voice that sounded suspiciously like wisdom itself, and lightning danced with forms that weren't quite human. Somewhere beyond the veil of sleep and waking, destiny was taking notice of one exiled ninja. The 6 months of exile had officially begun, and the storm was just beginning to break. Dust, blood, sweat. The trinity of Naruto's first week beyond Konoha's walls. A brutal baptism into the life of a lone wanderer. His fist crashed into a bandit's jaw with a sickening crunch, sending the man sprawling across the rocky path. 3 more still stood, their greed-glazed eyes locked on his small pack. You picked the wrong mark, you bastards. Naruto snarled, chakra already coiling beneath his skin like a caged beast. The largest bandit, all scar tissue and broken teeth, laughed. Just a kid playing ninja. Give us your money, and we might let you live. Naruto's lips curled into something that wasn't quite a smile. You know what I am? His chakra spiked, turning the air thick and oppressive. I'm someone you should have run from. He moved like lightning, shadow clone jutsu splitting reality into a dozen Narutos, each one screaming for blood. The bandits' confidence shattered faster than their bones. Crack. Thud. Crash. 10 minutes later, Naruto stood alone among the groaning bodies, his chest heaving. The aftermath tasted like copper and felt like hollow victory. He'd won. Again. But for what? What am I even doing? The words slipped out before he could catch them, hanging in the air like confession. Days blurred together. Town after faceless town, each one seeing him as just another drifter. No hatred, no whispers of demon child, but also no recognition, no acceptance. The blessing and curse of anonymity. In a tavern reeking of stale smoke and cheaper wine, a rogue cloud ninja sized him up across crowded tables. The man's chakra signature rippled with hostility, his hand already reaching for concealed weapons. Never thought I'd see Konoha's failed retrieval specialist drinking alone. The ninja slurred, sake breath poisoning the air between them. Naruto's knuckles whitened around his cup. I'm not looking for trouble. Trouble found you, fox boy. The rogue's friends materialized behind him. 3 battle-scarred veterans with matching hidden cloud symbols scratched out. Heard your village kicked you out. Guess they finally realized what a liability you are. The tavern fell silent as patrons scattered, recognizing the prelude to violence. Naruto stood slowly, deliberately, his blue eyes turning dangerous. Last warning, they came at him as one, a coordinated assault that would have overwhelmed most genin. But Naruto had fought Orochimaru, Gaara, and the Nine Tails itself. These rogues were just shadows of real threats. The lead ninja's fist met empty air as Naruto sidestepped, driving an elbow into the man's spine. Another attacker's lightning-natured kunai sparked against Naruto's chakra-enhanced forearm, the smell of ozone filling the cramped space. He countered with a devastating uppercut, sending the second assailant crashing through a table. Rasengan! The spiraling sphere of pure chakra materialized in Naruto's palm, its whine filling the air like angry hornets. He drove it into the third attacker's chest, the impact sending the man flying through the tavern door. The original Cloud Ninja recovered, forming rapid hand seals. Lightning release, thunderbolt. Naruto was already moving. Clone feint left, Rio body right. His leg swept the man's out from under him, following with a chakra-enhanced punch that left a crater in the wooden floor. Silence. Then the scrape of chairs as brave souls returned to their drinks. "Drinks on me," Naruto said to the terrified bartender, dropping a handful of Rio for the damage. But as he slipped out the broken door, questions gnawed at him like parasites. Who am I without Konoha? Without the dream of being Hokage? Weeks melted into a month. The road had become his home, each sunrise greeting a different landscape. Mountains gave way to forests, forests to plains, plains to swamps. But always, always, the shadow of his exile followed. One humid evening, as storm clouds gathered like an army on the horizon, Naruto found himself deep within an unnamed forest. Ancient trees towered above him, their trunks thick as houses, their roots forming a labyrinth beneath his feet. "Perfect," he muttered, feeling rain begin to patter against leaves. Just perfect. Lightning split the darkening sky, illuminating the forest in stark relief. In that flash, Naruto spotted something impossible, a structure that hadn't been there moments before. A shrine carved from stone so black it seemed to devour light itself. His feet carried him forward without conscious thought. The shrine stood in a small clearing, untouched by vegetation, as if the forest itself dared not encroach. Strange symbols covered its surface, not quite kanji, not quite seals, but something older, primal. What the hell is this place? Naruto ran his fingers over the carvings, feeling power thrumming beneath the surface. The runes seemed to shift when he wasn't looking directly at them, creating new patterns that his mind couldn't quite grasp. Thunder rolled overhead, closer now. The storm was intensifying with unnatural speed, as if drawn to the shrine itself. Rain began falling in sheets, drenching Naruto within seconds. Yet he remained, transfixed by the ancient structure. "I can't read any of this," he admitted, frustration coloring his voice. "But there's something here." Something. A bolt of lightning struck nearby, the shockwave nearly knocking him back. In its afterimage, Naruto could have sworn the runes glowed with inner light, forming words just at the edge of comprehension. That night, he made camp beneath an overhanging rock formation, unable to shake the feeling that the shrine was watching him. Sleep came fitfully, bringing dreams more vivid than any he'd experienced before. Thunder crashed. Warriors clad in strange armor battled across burning fields. A figure sat upon a massive throne, ravens perched on his shoulders, his face dominated by an ornate eye patch. The one-eyed god, for what else could he be, pointed at Naruto with a spear that crackled with lightning. "You wander far from home, young warrior," the god's voice boomed like mountains colliding. "But your destiny lies elsewhere." The storm calls. Around them, the battle raged. Mighty warriors swinging hammers that summoned thunder, fighting against shadowy beings that seemed to absorb light itself. And through it all, lightning danced like living serpents, striking where the god commanded. Naruto jolted awake, his heart hammering against his ribs. Dawn was breaking, but the storm hadn't abated. If anything, it had grown stronger overnight. What was that dream? He muttered, rubbing his eyes. But the images remained vivid. The one-eyed god, the thunderous battle, the sense of cosmic purpose that had filled every moment. Over the following days, as Naruto continued his aimless journey, the dreams persisted. Each night brought new visions. Feasting warriors in a golden hall, a massive tree connecting 9 worlds, battles against ice giants and fire demons. And always, always, the presence of thunder as a living force, guided by divine will. His path took him through abandoned villages and across rushing rivers. But nowhere felt like destination. Just movement for its own sake, running from questions he couldn't answer. Who am I now? What purpose drives me forward? The dreams offered no answers, only more mysteries. Naruto began documenting them in a journal he'd acquired, sketching the strange symbols he saw, describing the warrior culture that felt both alien and oddly familiar. 3 weeks after discovering the shrine, Naruto found himself standing atop a cliff overlooking a vast plain. Storm clouds had gathered again. They seemed to follow him now, appearing whenever he lingered too long in one place. I miss everything, he admitted to the wind. Ramen. Training with teammates. Even Kakashi-sensei's lateness. What good is power without purpose? Thunder rumbled in response, and Naruto laughed humorlessly. Even the sky is judging me now. But as he turned to descend the cliff, seeking shelter before the inevitable downpour, something extraordinary happened. The storm clouds began rotating, forming a massive vortex directly above him. Lightning didn't just strike. It danced, creating patterns in the air like calligraphy written by the gods themselves. What the? The wind picked up to hurricane force. Naruto had to chakra stick himself to the rock to avoid being blown away. In the sky above, the lightning grew brighter, more intense, until it became unbearable to look upon. And then, at the eye of the storm, reality itself seemed to tear open. A portal of pure lightning stood before him, larger than any jutsu he'd ever seen. Through its crackling surface, Naruto caught glimpses of impossible things. A rainbow bridge, a great hall with an enormous throne, warriors cheering with raised tankards of mead. The wind carried voices, speaking in a language he never learned but somehow understood. The bridge opens for the worthy. Destiny calls across the realms. Your exile ends here. Your purpose begins. Naruto stood at the edge of the cliff, rain and lightning creating a corona around his still form. Before him yawned a path to the unknown. Behind him lay the aimless wandering of the past month. The Rasengan had taught him that power came from motion, from continuous rotation and refinement. Perhaps the same was true for life itself. Standing still meant stagnation. Moving forward, even into mystery, meant growth. The dream god's words echoed in his memory. Your destiny lies elsewhere. Screw it, Naruto muttered, then louder, screw it. Let's see where this leads. He ran toward the portal, ignoring every instinct that screamed danger. As he crossed the threshold, reality shifted around him. Lightning enveloped his body, but instead of pain, he felt recognition. The last thing Naruto saw of his world was the unnamed forest disappearing into mist and storm. The last thing he felt was chakra. His chakra, resonating with something far greater, more primal than anything he'd encountered before. Then the portal swallowed him whole, and the exile's wandering came to an end. In its place, Destiny's true journey began. On the cliff where Naruto had stood, the storm began to dissipate as quickly as it had formed. Lightning returned to normal, thunder to mere meteorological phenomenon. The portal vanished, leaving no trace but a slight scorch mark on ancient stone. In the distance, a raven cawed 3 times, then took wing toward the north. The wandering path had served its purpose. The storm had claimed its chosen warrior, and in realms beyond mortal comprehension, preparations began for the arrival of the exile who would bridge worlds. Reality exploded. Naruto tumbled through dimensional winds that ripped at his consciousness, his very atoms screaming as space-time folded around him. Colors that had no names blazed past. Indigo lightning, golden storms, crystalline void. Then, with a thunderclap that shook the foundations of existence, he crashed onto solid ground. Golden. Everything was golden. He lay sprawled on a bridge that hummed with power, its surface crafted from materials that defied description. Part metal, part crystal, part pure energy. Above him, twin suns painted the sky in hues of amber and rose, while below was nothing but star-studded infinity. The Bifrost. The voice hit him like a meteor, deep, resonant, omniscient. Naruto scrambled to his feet, muscles tensing for combat, chakra already coiling beneath his skin. Before him stood a figure that made every instinct scream danger. 7 feet of bronze warrior towered above him, golden armor gleaming with inner light. Eyes like distant galaxies boring to Naruto's soul, seeing everything, past, present, and futures yet unborn. In his hands, a great sword larger than Naruto himself rested with deceptive casualness. I am Heimdall, the guardian announced, his gaze never wavering. And you, Naruto Uzumaki, 9th bearer of Kurama's chakra, have been expected. How do you? Naruto began, but Heimdall's laughter cut him off. I see all, young exile. The tears you shed for betrayed friendship. The rage that colored your victory. The dreams that called you here. The all-seeing eyes narrowed. But knowledge is not permission. This is the Rainbow Bridge. One test decides your worth. Without warning, Heimdall moved. The great sword whistled through air where Naruto had been milliseconds before. Pure instinct had saved him, genuine reflexes honed by countless battles. Too slow, Heimdall declared, already swinging again. Screw this. Naruto roared, channeling chakra to his feet. The rainbow bridge blazed with chakra signature as he flickered away, appearing 20 paces distant. I didn't come this far to get skewered by some golden pretty boy. Heimdall's eyes widened fractionally. Surprise, perhaps. Interesting technique. But can you adapt? The guardian raised his sword toward the distant suns. Light, pure cosmic radiation, gathered along its edge. When Heimdall swung, reality itself seemed to tear, sending a wave of stellar fire screaming toward Naruto. This isn't ninjutsu, Naruto realized with crystalline clarity. This is something else entirely, but survival transcended origin. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. His voice split the air. Reality shimmered, then exploded into a dozen Narutos. The cosmic wave obliterated 3 clones instantly. But 9 remained, circling Heimdall like predatory wolves. Shadow multiplication? Crude yet Heimdall spun, his movements economy in motion, deflecting kunai that materialized from nowhere. Effective. The clones attacked in perfect synchronization. Years of teamwork distilled into solo combat. Punches. Kicks. Feints. Real strikes. Each Naruto pushed his body to its limit, chakra blazing like blue inferno. Heimdall wove through them like water through a sieve. Better, the guardian acknowledged, even as his sword carved through 2 more clones. But still predictable. Down to 5. 4. 3. Got to try something else. The remaining Narutos formed rapid hand seals, muscle memory from 1,000 practice sessions. Ninja art, grand smoke screen, darkness swallowed the rainbow-hued bridge. In the obscuring cloud, Naruto prepared his ace. Shadow clone, ultimate formation, reality warped. 4 became 40. 40 became 400. An army of Narutos materialized within the smokescreen, each one a perfect copy, each one carrying the original's determination. Impressive, Heimdall's voice resonated through the darkness. But sight is for mortals. His cosmic awareness needed no eyes. The guardian's sword blazed with starlight, dispelling shadows in a nova of golden brilliance. But as vision returned, he found something unprecedented. Every clone was performing different techniques. Some weaved earth jutsu that shouldn't work without soil. Others manipulated pure chakra into defensive barriers. A few had even begun crude attempts at seals, trying to understand the cosmic energy flows. Adaptability. Heimdall murmured with something like approval. Then Naruto surprised him again. The original, massed among hundreds, wasn't attacking. Instead, he was studying. Blue eyes analyzed every swing of that impossible sword, cataloging its rhythm, its pattern, its infinite variations. When Heimdall destroyed clone after clone, the data accumulated. Everything has a pattern. Every technique has a weakness. At precisely the right moment, Naruto struck. Not with jutsu. Not with strength. But with timing perfected by combat genius. As Heimdall swung to eliminate another wave of clones, the original appeared behind him. Not through speed, but through prediction, occupying the one space Heimdall's awareness had momentarily overlooked amid the chaos. Naruto's palm pressed against the guardian's back. Rasengan, the spiraling sphere of pure chakra, humanity's answer to divine might, impacted. Heimdall staggered half a step. In the silence that followed, that half step resonated like thunder. Sufficient, Heimdall declared, lowering his sword. The remaining clones dispersed into smoke. You have earned passage. Behind them, a pathway of rainbow light materialized, stretching towards spires that touched the sky. Welcome to Asgard, Naruto Uzumaki. The realm eternal defied comprehension. Crystal spires pierced clouds threaded with gold. Waterfalls flowed upward before cascading down in liquid starlight. Architecture that seemed grown rather than built formed palaces and training grounds that would dwarf the greatest nations. Warriors passed in groups, men and women forged from myths and legends. Plate armor that looked simultaneously ancient and futuristic clinked with each movement. Weapons that hummed with dormant power rested easy in calloused hands. These were beings who lived for battle and thrived on glory. Naruto followed Heimdall through streets paved with crystalline stone, each step bringing new wonders. A warrior woman wrestled with what appeared to be a dragon-sized wolf. Another tested sword techniques that sent shockwaves rippling through the air. Everywhere, the mundane and miraculous intertwined. Your world has no warriors? Heimdall asked, noting Naruto's constant swiveling head. We have ninja, Naruto replied automatically. But this is something else entirely. They passed the training yard where thunder literally crashed with each hammer strike. The wielder, massive even by Asgardian standards, caught Naruto's attention immediately. Golden hair, rippling muscles, an aura of barely restrained power that made the Nine Tails' chakra feel like candlelight. Prince Thor, Heimdall introduced without slowing. He who commands the storm. Thor looked up from his training, blue eyes blazing with interest. A newcomer? And one who reeks of foreign magic? His grin split his face. Finally, something interesting arrives. Keep walking, Heimdall advised Naruto quietly. The prince has been restless lately. Give him opportunity, and your education will begin violently. But Thor had already vaulted the training yard's barrier, landing with earth-shaking impact. I am Thor Odinson. And you are? Naruto Uzumaki, he stammered, suddenly aware of exactly how outclassed he might be. Speak up, friend. Thor clapped him on the shoulder hard enough to dent solid steel. In Asgard, we feast or fight. Which calls to you? Actually, Heimdall intervened smoothly. The All-Father requests his presence. Thor's expression cycled through disappointment, curiosity, then understanding. Ah, Father is interested? He studied Naruto with new eyes. Then you must be special indeed. But after your audience, his grin returned predatory. We train. As they continued toward the palace, Naruto caught fragments of conversation from passing warriors. From Midgard I heard. Ninja, they call them. Bested Heimdall in combat. Supposedly. Pa! Rumor inflates deeds. The palace entrance rose before them. Doors 40 feet high, carved from single blocks of opalescent stone. Runes of power crawled across their surface like living things, telling stories older than recorded history. The throne room lies beyond, Heimdall announced, finally pausing. Answer the All-Father's questions truthfully. He detests deception above all else. The doors swung open silently, revealing a chamber that stole Naruto's breath. Pillars reached toward infinity, their surfaces alive with constellations. The floor was polished crystal that reflected not light, but destiny itself. At the chamber's far end, upon a throne that seemed carved from reality's cornerstone, sat Odin All-Father. Even seated, his presence dominated. One eye blazed with cosmic wisdom, the other covered by a patch marked with unknown runes. Gray beard and hair couldn't hide the ageless strength in his features. Gumnir, the spear of destiny, rested beside him, humming with patient power. Upon his shoulders, two ravens preened with preternatural intelligence. Naruto Uzumaki, Odin's voice rolled through the chamber like geological time. You have traveled far. Naruto walked forward on trembling legs. Protocol demanded respect. Warrior honor called for strength. He settled somewhere between. I don't know why I'm here. The storm brought me. The storm brings what the storm wills. Odin's single eye studied him with intensity that stripped away pretense. But it was you who chose to step into its embrace. In my world, Naruto began, searching for words. Exile means failure. Worthlessness. But the dreams he trailed off, uncertain how to explain visions of battling gods and cosmic wars. Dreams touch truth when the soul is ready, Odin stated. Would you hear why the storm called? Tell me everything. Odin's eye gleamed, perhaps approval. Your world and mine face converging threats. Powers that seek to unravel reality's weave. Your exile was no punishment, young warrior. It was preparation. Preparation for what? War. The word hung in the air like a drawn sword. War across realms. War for existence itself. Behind them, warriors had gathered, drawn by commotion or forewarned by Heimdall's farsight. Thor stood foremost, curiosity and excitement battling for dominance on his face. But first, Odin continued, you must prove worthy of such responsibility. You carry strange power within you, sealed behind imperfect barriers. You fight with techniques alien to our ways. Can you adapt? Can you evolve? Naruto's mind raced. This was a test, cosmic in scale but familiar in purpose. How do I prove myself? Odin's lips curved in something like a smile. You survive. With those words, the throne room transformed. Walls receded into darkness. The crystal floor blazed with sudden energy. And the warriors, Thor included, ringed them in a massive circle. Welcome to your first Asgardian trial. Midgardian, Thor announced, lightning crackling between his fingers. Show us what shadow warriors can accomplish. Naruto squared his shoulders, chakra flaring instinctively. Around him, power unlike anything he faced gathered like storm systems. But within him, something responded, not just the nine tails, but something awakened by dimensional transit, something that recognized kinship with Asgardian might. I'll show you, he promised, readying for combat that would define new limits. I'll show you all. The trial began with thunder, and in that thunder, destiny forged its next link in cosmic chain. Silence crashed across the throne room harder than any battle cry. Warriors stepped back, weapons lowering as Odin raised one weathered hand. The All-Father's single eye blazed with power that could unmake mountains, yet his voice remained gentle as death itself. Enough. Thor's lightning sputtered out. The crystalline floor ceased its violent humming. Around them, the cosmic energy withdrew like a tide under the command of ancient moons. Father? Thor's confusion rippled through the assembly. The trial was never meant to test strength alone. Odin gestured, and reality shimmered. Images coalesced in the air. Ethereal projections of distant worlds, ninja villages, ceiling complexes older than civilization itself. Naruto stared at floating visions of Konoha, his favorite ramen stand, the training grounds where Team 7 had first assembled, the very cliff where Orochimaru had marked Sasuke. His breath caught when Odin's projection showed the Valley of the End, still scarred by their battle. You watch everything, Naruto whispered, not quite accusing. Knowledge maintains balance between realms. Odin waved the visions away like smoke. Your world handles energy differently than ours. Chakra instead of divine might. But the source? His smile turned knowing. Identical. Impossible, Naruto breathed. Chakra comes from the same cosmic wellspring that fuels Asgardian power. Odin tapped Gungnir against crystal, each impact revealing deeper truths. Your sage of six paths touched but a fragment of what flows through us. Different paths. Same destination. The revelation struck Naruto like physical force. All those years believing chakra was unique to his world, born from human innovation and ancient transformation. Now, cosmic insight rewrote everything. Why show me this? Naruto demanded, fists clenching. To prove I'm weak? That ninja are just playing with scraps of your power? To offer choice. Odin leaned forward on his throne, divine authority softening into something almost fatherly. You stand at crossroads that few mortals witness. I see possible futures branching before you, young exile. One path keeps you here, Asgardian warrior, trained in our ways, fighting our battles. Another leads home, bearing gifts even the nine-tailed fox could not grant. Home, the word tasted of longing and ashes simultaneously. You miss them. Not question, statement of observed truth. The copy ninja whose mask hides more than scars. The pink-haired healer who loves the Uchiha traitor. The lazy genius who calculates 9 moves ahead. Your sensei who drinks to forget he couldn't save his team. Each description landed precisely, cutting through Naruto's defenses like kunai through silk. How did Odin know? Had he watched every private moment, every secret friendship? They need me. Naruto forced out past tightening throat. Even if they don't realize it yet, but what can you offer them now? Odin's challenge hung heavy. You return unchanged, doomed to repeat the same failures. Or he lifted Gungnir, cosmic energy dancing along its length. You return forged anew, carrying power to reshape destinies. At what cost? Warriors throughout the realm knew instinctively. Power always extracted prices. Everything worthwhile demands sacrifice. Odin stood, and even gods seemed to hold their breath. I offer the Thunder Eye. Raijin no Mi. Perception beyond ninja comprehension. Control over lightning's primal essence. Connection to cosmic forces your kind have forgotten. Thor stepped forward, expression conflicted. Father, that power you sacrificed your own eye for wisdom. Creating another such gift will be even more costly. Odin agreed. But necessary choices often exact terrible prices. Naruto's mind raced through implications faster than shadow clone calculations. Power to save Sasuke. Strength to face whatever darkness threatened both worlds. But power born from sacrifice always carried shadows of its own. If I accept, he began slowly, you would become bridge between realms. Neither fully ninja nor Asgardian warrior, but something unprecedented. Odin's voice turned solemn as prophecy. Bearer of responsibility spanning two worlds. Guardian against threats your former village cannot even imagine. The weight of cosmic destiny pressed down like atmospheric pressure. Yet beneath that burden, possibility sparked. Not just salvation for himself, but potentially both realms. I choose the Thunder Eye, Naruto declared, voice steady despite trembling hands. I choose to return home stronger. Odin nodded as if this outcome had been foreseen. Then prepare yourself, young exile. Transformation rarely proves kind. The ritual chamber lay deep beneath the palace, where Asgard's bedrock touched reality's core. Ancient runes crawled across walls that seemed to breathe with their own life force. Torches burned with flames every color of the spectrum, while shadows danced like living things. Naruto knelt in the chamber's center, the nine tails stirring uneasily within his seal. Even the ancient demon fox sensed powers beyond its comprehension. What deals do you make, child? Kurama's voice resonated through their mindscape. That old god's energy could destroy us both. Trust me, Naruto thought back. Just this once, trust me to do something right. Thor stood guard at Naruto's side, massive presence somehow reassuring. The eye I've watched father sacrifice for different purposes. Each time, it extracts more than vision. I'm not backing out now, Naruto replied, noting how Asgardians lined the chamber walls. Witnesses to cosmic workings they'd seen before. Odin entered, ravens circling overhead with ominous presence. He'd shed his ceremonial armor, revealing the full weight of ages in his bearing. In his hands, he carried a crystalline vessel glowing with starlight. The thunder's essence, he announced. Captured from the heart of the first storm. Combined with wisdom one power, it shall birth something new. What must I do? Naruto asked, fighting to keep voice level. Endure, Odin replied simply. The transformation accepts no weakness. The All-Father knelt before Naruto, placing the glowing vessel on the floor between them. His single eye blazed with intensity that threatened to consume lesser beings. This ritual connects fates, Odin warned. Your success becomes part of my legacy. Your failures will haunt my sacrifice. Are you certain? I'm certain, Naruto affirmed. Let's do this. Odin removed his eye patch with deliberate motion. Where empty sockets should have been, cosmic energy swirled, fragments of universal truth still dancing where physical vision once resided. Mjolnir, Odin commanded. Thor's hammer sailed to his outstretched hand, crackling with eagerness. The ritual requires conduit, Odin explained, raising the hammer skyward. Lightning must bridge what separates. Thunder answered, not ordinary storm sounds, but reality itself resonating with divine command. The ceiling of the ritual chamber became transparent sky, though they remained underground. Above them, cosmic tempest gathered. Open your chakra network completely, Odin instructed. Hold nothing back. Let lightning find every pathway. Naruto obliged, years of meditation practice allowing total system release. Chakra pathways blazed visibly through his skin, blue energy outlining every internal channel. Odin touched Mjolnir's head to the crystalline vessel. Thunder roared. Lightning descended. Reality shattered. Pure cosmic energy slammed through Naruto's body like 10,000 voltage lines seeking ground at once. His screen tore through dimensions, reaching octaves beyond human vocal range. Chakra pathways burned white-hot as they expanded to accommodate divine current. The nine tails held within his seal. Ancient bindings groaned under unprecedented pressure as Fox Demon found itself sharing space with powers from creation's dawn. Lightning painted fractals across Naruto's vision. His left eye felt like molten metal being poured directly into his skull, neural pathways rewiring at fundamental levels. Right eye remained human, anchored to mortality even as divinity reshaped him. Hold, Odin commanded, though sweat beaded his ancient brow. Fight the dissolution. You are bridge, not destruction. Agony beyond description continued. Naruto experienced simultaneous sensations of being unmade and forged anew. His blood boiled with electricity. Bones rang like divine tuning forks. Skin rippled with power-born transformations. Neither ninja nor Asgardian. The Nine Tails fought initially, then began cooperating. Ancient beast human recognized kinship with primal forces reshaping its container. Fox chakra wove with lightning and unprecedented fusion. Thor watched with mixture of pride and concern. Around the chamber, warriors bore silent witness to transformation that defied precedent. Some had forgotten to breathe. Finally, after eternities compressed into minutes, the lightning receded. Silence fell harder than thunder. Naruto collapsed forward, caught by Thor's massive hands before he could strike crystal floor. Smoke rose from his clothes, now bearing lightning patterns burned through fabric. His hair had gained streaks of electric white. Most striking, his left eye, once bright blue like the right, now glowed with inner storm. Is it? Thor began. Complete, Odin finished, swaying with exhaustion. His sacrifice eye leaked streams of silver light, price paid in full. Naruto Uzumaki now bears the Raijin no Mi. The new Thunder Bearer stirred, sitting up with movements that crackled with residual energy. His glowing left eye surveyed the chamber with perception beyond normal sight. Energy flows, fate threads, the very architecture of reality laid bare. I see, he whispered. Everything, the true nature of chakra. The hidden seals within your own body. The cosmic forces threatening both realms. Odin nodded weakly. And the pathways home. Naruto extended his hand experimentally. Lightning danced between his fingers, responding to a rather than hand science. The transformation felt complete yet beginning. Immense power constrained only by understanding still being born. Thank you, he said simply, knowing words inadequately expressed the magnitude of such gift. Prove worthy. Odin accepted his eye patch from a tending healer. Your true challenge starts with return. Konoha must witness strength to believe it. Sasuke must see power worth returning for. And greatest threats still gather in shadows between worlds. Standing shakily, Naruto felt chakra network humming differently. Enlarged, refined, capable of channeling energies previously unimaginable. The Nine Tails voice, when it came, carried begrudging respect. Well, Kit, you actually didn't die. More than that, Naruto thought back. We've become something new. Thor clapped him on the shoulder, gently, acknowledging newfound divine aspects. From Exiled to Thunder Bearer in single evening. Even by Asgardian standards, impressive speed. Speed, Naruto tested the word, still dizzy from transformation. That's just it. Time here it's different. How long have I been gone from my world? Asgardian weeks equal ninja days, Odin provided, recovering his regal bearing despite visible fatigue. You have lost little time in your realm, but gained immeasurable capability. Looking around the chamber, at Thor's proud grin, at warriors nodding respect, at Odin's weary wisdom, Naruto felt cosmic significance settling over him like weighted cloak. The price was paid. Power was granted. Destiny forged in lightning and sacrifice now called from beyond dimensions. I'm ready, he declared, storm-touched eye blazing with determination eternal as thunder itself. Ready to go home. Ready to change everything. The bridge between realms awaited, and the Thunder Bearer would cross it walking into destiny. Dawn exploded across the warriors' training grounds. Twin suns painting the sky in hues of molten gold and battle steel gray. Naruto's bare feet kissed crystalline earth as he stepped onto the sparring field, muscles still singing with residual lightning from his transformation. His new eye, the Raijin no Mi, pulsed with awareness, seeing energy flows that mapped the realm and shimmering threads of possibility. Again, Thor's voice boomed across the arena, Mjolnir spinning in lazy circles that defied mere gravity. You move like water, but fight like stone. Break yourself open. Naruto wiped blood from split knuckles, grinning through the sting. Maybe his guardian style just doesn't suit ninja bones. Style? Thor threw his head back, laughter rumbling like mountain thunder. Style is for bards and poets. Warriors shape reality with will alone. Lightning crackled between the god's fingers. Not threat, but illustration. Watch. Learn. Adapt. The Prince of Thunder launched himself skyward, Mjolnir's arc painting electricity across clouds. At the apex of his leap, he spun, impossible grace and titanic form, and brought the hammer down like judgment itself. The impact cratered training grounds. Shockwaves rippled outward, sending lesser warriors stumbling. Where hammer struck earth, lightning bloomed upward in branching fractals, each bolt seeking its own destiny. Naruto's storm eye tracked every nuance. Energy patterns crystallized into comprehension. His left hand moved automatically, not in familiar hand science, but weaving shapes that caught residual power like a spider's web catching dawn. I see it, he breathed. The connection. Thunder follows will, not just technique. Thor landed amid lightning's afterglow, blue eyes blazing approval. Finally! Now, show me ninjas can thunder. Naruto's chakra network blazed visible beneath his skin, pathways rewritten by divine current. But this time, he didn't fight the energy's nature. No hand science. No jutsu formulas. Just raw intent focused through storm-touched eye. Thunder isn't chakra shaped into lightning. Thunder is what made manifest. His scream split the morning. From cloudless sky, lightning answered, not summoned, but called. It struck through him rather than at him, every nerve alive with cosmic voltage. When the brightness faded, Naruto stood transformed, body crackling with electric potential, hair now fully marked with silver streaks, that supernatural eye leaving contrails of power in its wake. By the tree's roots, muttered a watching warrior. The Midgardian actually channels raw divine force. Thor finished, arms crossed in grudging admiration. Crude still. Unfocused. But the bridge exists. He grinned ferally. Now let's see if it can bear true weight. Rasengan, Naruto murmured, chakra coiling into familiar spiral. The sphere formed, perfect rotation, distilled condensation of ninja philosophy. But now, watching through storm-blessed sight, he saw deeper patterns. The Rasengan was incomplete. Thor, throw something. Hard as you can. The god obliged without question, hurling an Asgardian spear with mountain-shattering force. The weapon screamed through air, leaving vacuum wake in its passing. Naruto brought Rasengan to meet it, and instead of impact, integration. Lightning threaded through spiraling chakra, turning familiar blue to electric white. The spear met Thunder Rasengan and dissolved into component energies, harmlessly dispersed into crackling motes. Thunder Rasengan, Naruto named his hybrid creation, feeling power's harmonic vibration in his bones. Not destruction, transformation. Thor retrieved Mjolnir thoughtfully. Your techniques evolve quickly. But combat isn't sole purpose here. Lightning danced across Hammer's head as he spoke. You carry responsibility beyond strength. Asgard's wisdom must fill what power alone cannot. The runic chamber hummed with ancient potential. Runes carved into obsidian walls glowed softly, each symbol a crystallized concept older than recorded history. Master Runescribe Tyr, not the war god, but his mortal namesake, traced glowing fingers across instructional slate. Runes are thought-given permanence, he lectured, silver-braided beards swaying with animation. Your ninja seals control chakra. Our runes shape reality itself. Naruto struggled with the quill, trying to replicate the flowing curves that meant strength. His ninja-trained precision fought against the organic flow required. The parchment smoldered where his attempt went wrong. Try again, Tyr advised patiently. Feel the meaning, not just trace the shape. I've always been terrible at calligraphy, Naruto admitted, frustration coloring his voice. Calligraphy? Tyr's eyebrow raised. This is closer to your mind touching the void. Your storm eye should help. Use it. Naruto activated the Raijin no Mi fully. Suddenly, runes revealed hidden dimensions, each curve connecting to energy matrices that spanned realms. The quill steadied as deeper understanding flowed through divine perception. Stroke by careful stroke, he inscribed strength into reality. The rune blazed momentarily before settling into soft luminescence. Acceptable, Tyr nodded. Given sufficient years, you might achieve competence. Years? Naruto's heart sank. Did you expect mastery overnight? Even with godly gift, wisdom requires cultivation. But Naruto had already moved on, combining techniques with ninja adaptability. His shadow clones assembled around the runic table, each one attempting different symbols simultaneously. The resulting energy storm nearly collapsed the chamber ceiling. Brilliant! Foolhardy! Brilliant! Ter exclaimed, weaving containment runes frantically. Never, absolutely never, a 10th parallel runic learning. The resonance could, too late. Knowledge crammed into Naruto's mind from multiple sources simultaneously. Different runes, different meanings, all compressing through shadow clone feedback into singular consciousness. He swayed, reality blurring at edges even Storm Eye couldn't stabilize. When vision cleared, he found himself inscribing complex runic combinations without conscious thought. Muscle memory birthed from accelerated learning. Impossible, Ter whispered, watching Naruto weave protection ward, binding circle, and power focused into seamless array. Even master crafters require decades to. Time works differently for us, Naruto replied absently, his enhanced eye tracing how runic energies dovetailed with chakra pathways. I've lived years in training scenarios. This is just more efficient. The great feast hall thundered with Asgardian revelry. Warriors slammed tankards against ancient tables, ale flowing like amber rivers while stories grew taller with each retelling. Naruto sat between Thor and Lady Sif, attempting to match drinking pace with beings who'd perfected the art over millennia. To the Thunder Bridge, Volstagg bellowed, raising his horn. May he survive his own ambition, laughter erupted. Naruto accepted the toast good-naturedly, feeling warmth beyond mere alcohol. These proud warriors had adopted him, not as outsider, but as kin forged through shared combat. Your ninja village, Sif began carefully, they value strength as we do? Naruto swirled liquid starlight thoughtfully. Different kind of strength. We protect from shadows, break ourselves for others' peace. He smiled crookedly. Pretty sure you'd call it dishonorable. Fighting to ensure enemies never know you existed. Wise warfare, Fandral countered, always the diplomat. Victory unacknowledged still counts as victory. But where's the glory? Thor challenged, eyes dancing with mischief. Glory keeps you awake when children sleep safely, Naruto replied simply. Different paths to same destination. The table fell thoughtfully quiet. Then Hogan spoke. Rare words from the grim warrior. Honor has many faces. Perhaps we've worn same mask with different features. Ter burst through the hall doors, parchments blazing in his hands. The Midgardion's runic progression. Impossible combinations forming. He spotted the drinking party and groaned. You celebrate while he reshapes fundamental magical law? Let the young one enjoy brotherhood, Thor laughed. Tomorrow brings fresh trials. Tonight he raised Mjolnir toward the ceiling. Thunder answered immediately. Tonight we feast. Months dissolved into focused training rhythm. Asgardian time proved malleable, stretching and compressing according to realm's mystical nature. Naruto felt seasons passing while knowing mere days elapsed in his original world. Temporal mathematics that defied logic but bowed to necessity. He sparred with Sif, learning blade work that turned katana into lightning conductor. From Hogan, deadly precision, each movement economical, lethal. Volstagg taught endurance, how to fight beyond exhaustion, beyond pain, until will alone sustain motion. But Thor remained his primary instructor, pushing boundaries until they shattered. Your nine-tailed fox, Thor mused one training dawn, contains power rivaling minor gods. Yet you restrain it like caged beasts. The fox nearly destroyed my village once, Naruto explained carefully. Control matters more than raw power. Control? Thor's laugh rang clear. You fear the storm instead of riding it. Lightning erupted from the prince, not attack, but demonstration. Electricity danced across his skin in complex patterns, muscles harmonizing with divine current rather than resisting it. Power flows. Attempts to control it create turbulence. But partnership? Thor extended his electrified hand. Partnership creates symphony. Naruto hesitated, then clasped the offered appendage. Lightning coursed through their connection. Not painful shock, but energetic communication. For one crystalline moment, he felt Thor's relationship with the storm. Not master and slave, but dancers in perfect synchronization. Understanding bloomed. Naruto released Thor's hand and turned inward, seeking the Nine-Tails' consciousness. You wish to bargain again, kid? Kurama's voice rumbled through mindscape. No bargaining, Naruto replied firmly. Partnership. I've learned something from these Asgardians. About power as alliance rather than possession. The great fox demon considered, nine tail tips twitching with calculation. Show me this alliance. Naruto shared the sensation. Thor's harmony with thunder, the way divine power responded to cooperation rather than control. Slowly, almost cautiously, the nine tails extended its own chakra. Crimson energy met storm-touched blue. Instead of the usual violent collision, they spiraled together, creating patterns neither could achieve alone. Naruto's body blazed with combined might as Fox Demon chakra gained lightning aspects. By the Norns, Thor breathed, witnessing transformation. You've achieved in weeks what took us centuries to understand. The hybrid state settled. Naruto stood radiating both demonic power and divine grace, his Raijin no Mi spinning with elevated perception. He felt complete for the first time since receiving the Thunder Eye. Ninja adaptability, he grinned, energy crackling between fangs that carried whisper of Fox Demon heritage. We're good at improvising. Then improvise your way through this. Thor hurled Mjolnir with divine strength behind the throw. The hammer blurred across training field, trailing Comet's fury. Naruto moved without thinking. Storm Eye tracked trajectory. Fox enhanced reflexes provided speed, and Asgardian wisdom guided response. Instead of dodging, he met Mjolnir head-on. Thunder Rasengan, enhanced by Nine Tails chakra, stabilized by runic understanding, collided with godly artifact. The explosion painted aurora across morning sky. When illumination faded, Naruto stood holding Mjolnir like trophy claimed from conquest itself. Silence crashed across training grounds. Even birds paused mid-flight. Thor's expression cycled through shock, indignation, then wild joy. He pointed accusingly. You caught Mjolnir. It was coming at my face. Naruto protested, still gripping the surprisingly light hammer. What was I supposed to do? Dodge like any sane warrior? But Thor's grin belied his complaint. None save worthy can wield that hammer. It judges intent, measures character. He studied Naruto thoughtfully. What does that say about you, I wonder? Naruto felt Mjolnir's weight in new context. Not mere weapon, but responsibility given form. Lightning crackled between his fingers and hammer's head, recognizing kindred energy. It says I'm not the same ninja who stumbled through your portal, he realized aloud. Exile changed everything. But this he glanced around at gathered warriors, at Thor's proud expression, at his own hands powerful enough to wield God's weapons. This gives me chance to change everything else. Fitting epilogue for Asgardian training, Odin's voice announced his presence. The Allfather emerged from morning shadows, ravens circling overhead. The exile has become bridge warrior. The student holds master's weapon. His single eye gleamed approval. And the nine-tailed storm begins to wake. Naruto returned Mjolnir to Thor with respect born of newfound understanding. Thank you, he said simply. For everything. We merely provided environment, Thor corrected. You crafted the transformation. Odin stepped forward, runic wisdom etched in weathered features. Time flows differently between realms. But even we cannot halt its passage forever. Your original world calls for power it cannot yet comprehend, facing threats it cannot yet imagine. The weight of preparation settled like armor across Naruto's shoulders. He'd entered Asgard as failed exile. He would leave as Thunder Bearer, ninja transformed by divine purpose, carrying strength to reshape both worlds. I'm ready, Naruto declared, storm eye blazing with determination that spanned realms. Ready to return. Ready to prove exile was beginning, not ending. Around him, Asgardian warriors raised weapons in salute, acknowledging kinship earned through sweat, thunder, and shared purpose. Thor's grin promised future reunions. Sif's nod spoke volumes of respect, but it was Odin's weathered smile that carried greatest weight. Go, Thunder Bearer. Bridge worlds. Forge destiny. Lightning began to gather, heralding portals opening. Naruto Uzumaki, ninja no longer merely human, refugee transformed to warrior divine, prepared to cross dimensional threshold once more. This time, he carried power to change everything. The bridge between realms beckoned, and the Thunder Bearer answered its call. Lightning etched ancient patterns across obsidian walls, illuminating the Chamber of Fates, a vault where destiny itself lay stored in crystalline memory. Naruto followed Odin through corridors that hummed with power older than memory, his storm eye drinking in threads of possibility that wove reality's tapestry. Knowledge carries weight heavier than Mjolnir, Odin warned, staff tapping against floor that rang like prophecy itself. Some truths crushed those unprepared. Try me, Naruto challenged, but uncertainty crept beneath bravado. I've handled the 9 tails. Demons? Odin's laugh echoed off cosmic vaults. Child's tales compared to what stirs between realms. They entered a chamber where starlight pooled like molten silver across floor carved from pure void. Above them, constellations shifted, not mere lights, but moving prophecies that wrote endings yet unwritten. Behold. Odin raised Gungnir. Stars aligned, telling stories in language of light itself. Reality rippled. Images crystallized from cosmic memory. A warrior bearing twin powers, standing where dimensions touched. Around him, darkness gathered like malevolent thought given form. This warrior Odin traced the starlit figure with trembling finger. Born of one realm, baptized in another. The bridge who alone can stand where worlds converge. Naruto's breath caught as the prophetic figure turned. Marked by lightning-streaked hair, carrying weapons that weren't entirely ninja tools. The Raijin no Mi blazed like second sun where his left eye should be. Me, he whispered, or what you might become. Odin's voice carried infinite permutations. Prophecy flows, choice directs current. The vision shifted. Darkness took shape, beings that devoured light itself, leaving reality hollowed by their passing. Both Asgard's golden spires and ninja villages crumbled beneath shadows' advance. What the hell are those things? The Void Seekers, Thor's voice interrupted, Prince of Thunder materializing from dimensional fold. Ancient as the first darkness, hungry as extinction's hunger. Your 9 tails knows them, Odin continued, studying how Naruto's demonic chakra reacted to prophetic images. Ask the guardian within. Ask what dwelled before the worlds were shaped. Naruto turned inward, seeking Kurama's consciousness. The great fox uncoiled immediately, all 9 tails lashing with agitation. Show me what you've seen, Kit. Let me judge these shadows. Sharing the vision, Naruto felt Kurama's ancient dread. The fox's chakra burned cold, fear given energy form. Void seekers, they predate the Otsutsuki clan. Kurama's mental voice cracked like breaking stone. Before my kind were shaped to guard against them. Before the sage scattered tailed beasts as living seals. They were why we were created. What connection? Naruto demanded aloud, understanding dawning like ice water down his spine. The Otsutsuki, Odin confirmed, prophecy still painting horrors across starlit ceiling. Dimension-wandering clan who plant world trees and harvest power? They flee from something, hunt desperately for strength to survive what pursues them. Thor's expression darkened. That pursuit approaches Midgard now. Through cosmic currents unseen by mortal eyes, the prophetic image shifted again, showing Mamashiki, Kinshiki, beings Naruto had only glimpsed in fevered warnings. But beyond them, through them, moved shadows that made even Otsutsuki flee. Your world faces twin threats, Odin pronounced solemnly. The Otsutsuki hunting the trees. The Void Seekers hunting the Otsutsuki. And us caught between, Naruto finished, realization cutting sharp. That's why I was chosen. Because I can see both threats? Because you became bridge capable of standing where they converge. Odin's raven-croaked prophecies echo. Neither purely ninja nor Asgardian warrior. Something unprecedented, necessary for ending never written. The weight pressed down like gravitational decision. Konoha faced challenges horrifying enough. Now cosmic nightmares threatened realities themselves. Tell me everything, Naruto demanded, straightening with determination that transcended dimensions. Every detail. Every weakness. If I'm supposed to stop them, I need to know. Odin's single eye blazed approval. Knowledge becomes armor for what approaches. Listen well, young bridge warrior. The war room descended stories beneath throne chamber. A strategic nexus where realms' fate hung analyzed on charts mapped from divine sight. Models floated between Naruto and Odin. Cosmic diagrams that showed vulnerabilities invisible to mortal perception. The Void Seekers consumed dimensional stability itself, Odin explained, manipulating holographic devastation. Leave reality fractured, unable to sustain life, any life. How do we fight something that eats existence? Unity never before attempted. Thor entered, carrying armloads of ancient texts. Your ninja collaboration techniques combined with our divine might. tactics bridging two warrior traditions, maps unfurled showing convergence points, places where realms touch thin. Naruto's storm eye traced energy flows, finding patterns his ninja training never suspected existed. These locations he pointed at three distinct coordinates. They align with memory sparked. The Valley of the End. The place where Madara and Hashirama fought their final battle. Power resonates through dimensions, Odin confirmed. Great battles scar reality, creating pathways. Your world's greatest conflicts open doors meant to remain sealed. The implications crashed like falling mountains. Every legendary ninja clash, every tailed beast rampage, cosmic mistakes that weaken barriers guarding reality itself. So protecting my world, Naruto's voice hardened with understanding, means protecting all worlds. The bridge warrior comprehends, Odin nodded. But comprehension differs from capability. Then give me the tools, Naruto challenged. You said I'd receive gifts. Powers to match responsibility, Odin gestured. Light coalesced into three artifacts floating above the war table. First, Skofnum. A sword materialized, black blade inscribed with runes that shifted like living script. Forged when worlds were young. Cuts destiny itself. In your hands, can sever dimensional barriers enemy creates. Naruto reached carefully, feeling weight heavier than steel alone. The sword hummed recognition as his storm eye interpreted layered enchantments. Second, Stormcaller. Lightning-infused gauntlet formed, crystalline channels capturing thunder's essence. Amplifies divine aspects awakened within you. Channels natural lightning beyond ninja techniques. The gauntlet fitted perfectly, immediately harmonizing with his chakra network. Power flowed like thought-given form. Third, Veil Sight. Crystalline lens floated before them, neither solid nor entirely energy. Reveals truth beneath deception. Seeing through Otsutsuki transformations, piercing void spawn illusions. And these can actually, tools alone win no wars, Odin interrupted. Knowledge completes arsenal. The Allfather touched Dungnir to Naruto's forehead. Cosmic data flooded consciousness. Asgardian battle tactics, weakness patterns and void seeker forces. Theoretical combinations of ninja strategy with divine warfare. Information compressed time. Lifetimes of warrior wisdom distilled into burning download. Naruto's mind expanded, accommodating knowledge earned across eons of conflict. Additionally, Odin continued as Naruto reeled from mental infusion, portalcraft basics, emergency return pathways, how to stabilize dimensional tiers. You're giving me skills to wage war across realities, Naruto realized, voice awed despite himself. Necessity dictates unprecedented education. Odin's weathered features softened fractionally. You've earned these gifts through trials survived. Honor them by survival to come. Hours blurred into final preparation. Thor demonstrated Stormcaller's synergy with Naruto's lightning techniques, creating combinations that painted the training grounds in Aurora displays. Heimdall provided last-minute coordinate adjustments for safe transit home. Lady Sif offered tactical advice for facing enemies who moved between dimensions. But it was when Naruto stood alone with Odin in the departure chamber that heaviest truths emerged. You fear I'll fail, Naruto stated simply. I fear the cost of prevention, Odin corrected. Even success demands sacrifice. The bridge warrior stands where realities meet. Position few survive unchanged. What aren't you telling me? Lightning flickered through the room. Not electrical, but manifestation of prophetic tension. Odin's ravens shifted uncomfortably on their perches. The prophecy speaks of bridge. But it also warns. He paused, choosing words like selecting weapons. When passage crosses too many times, some journeys become permanent. Naruto understood immediately. You're saying I might not be able to return to my world? After reaching yours too often? The risk compounds. Odin's confession carried weight of mountains. Why we prepared you so thoroughly. This first return must accomplish what no second chance may permit. The revelation struck like Mjolnir's impact. Limited crossings meant each choice carried universe-altering consequence. Then I make this one count, Naruto decided, squaring shoulders that carried destiny heavier than steel. Save both worlds. No half measures. Odin gripped his shoulder, rare physical contact from the Allfather. You've grown beyond the exile who stumbled through chance portal. Asgard acknowledges your transformation. Keep the throne warm. Naruto grinned, masking deeper emotions. Next visit might require coffee and longer chat. Lightning gathered as portal magic coalesced. The Rainbow Bridge responded to cosmic navigation, threads linking distant realms through stormlit pathway. Remember everything taught, Thor called, Mjolnir spinning its own gathering energy. Fight as ninja. Think as his guardian. Survive as bridge. The portal stabilized, showing glimpses of forest where Naruto's journey first folded space. Home beckoned, changed perspective viewing familiar landscape. The prophecy reveals paths, Odin pronounced finally. Choice determines which one actualizes. Go, Thunder Bearer. Fulfill destiny or forge better conclusion than prophecy imagined. With that benediction echoing through dimensional static, Naruto Uzumaki, ninja reforged as cosmic warrior, bearing gifts matching responsibility, stepped into swirling light. The bridge between worlds carried him home. But home would never again be merely home. Reality awaited reshaping by one who danced with thunder and returned wearing storms in his eyes. The Void Seekers approached. But so did their unexpected answer. Lightning splintered reality like cosmic glass. The dimensional tear birthed Naruto Uzumaki back into existence with thunderous promise, spitting him onto moss-covered ground mere yards from the ancient shrine where his journey had begun. Same forest. Different warrior. He staggered upright, muscles still singing the after-song of dimensional transit. Every fiber of his being hummed with power that had reshaped him from cellular level upward. The portal snapped shut with finality that echoed Odin's warning. Crossing thresholds carried cosmic cost. Naruto raised his hand and froze. Skin that had once carried whiskers marks now bore faint silvery tracery, like lightning captured eternally beneath flesh. His reflection in a nearby puddle struck harder than Mjolnir itself. Gods above. Hair streaked electric white, arranged in wilder spikes that defied gravity and reason. Left eye blazed with stormlight that pulsed the heartbeat's rhythm. Muscle definition spoke of divine conditioning, movements carrying Asgardian grace alongside ninja deadliness. Even his clothes had transformed. Orange jumpsuit replaced by reinforced garments that whispered between realms. Either pure ninja nor Asgardian warrior, but unprecedented fusion. Changed outward as within, he muttered, Odin's parting words echoing through memory. Homo recognized the exile who returns. The recognition cut deeper than intended. Would Konoha see their demon fox become something more? Or something to fear anew, one step at a time? Observe. Adapt. Then reveal. Naruto extended storm sight, scanning chakra signatures layered like living topography. Konoha pulsed in distance. Familiar energy patterns overlaid with subtle shifts. 6 months compressed into daily cycles had altered the village's rhythms in ways even his transformed perception struggled to catalog. Henge. The transformation technique came reflexively, chakra molding reality's perception. Storm marks vanished. Hair returned to sunbright orange. Lightning eye dimmed to original blue. Only his posture remained wrong. Confidence carried different weight when forged in divine anvil. Close enough. Time to see what's changed. Sunset painted Konoha in bleeding oranges and dying purples as Naruto ghosted through familiar streets. Hidden transformation jutsu rendered him invisible to casual observation, but his enhanced senses devoured everything. Conversations behind paper-thin walls, tension crackling between guard stations, whispered debates in shadowed corridors. Exile's time finishes today, one Chunin muttered to his drinking companion at roadside stand. Think the fox brat survived? Who cares? His partner spat sake-tinged breath. Good riddance to bad blood. Council's rid of their demon problem. Naruto's chakra spiked involuntarily, trees rustling as his aura touched them. He calmed the surge with Asgardian techniques, but anger's aftertaste lingered bitter, still the same prejudice. Some things never change. His path wound instinctively toward favorite haunts. Ichiraku's ramen stand, training ground 7, the Hokage monument's silent faces. Each location whispered memories alongside reality's current state. Training ground bore fresh scars, massive craters that spoke of devastating jutsu practice. Who trains with that kind of power regularly? Ichiraku's carried laughter between steaming bowls. Team guys celebrating their latest mission with characteristic volume. Visible from shadows, Naruto caught Lee's impassioned speech about youth's burning flames. Tenten's eye-roll salvation from philosophical overload. The monument displayed fresh additions, Tsunade's face carved proud on 5th Hokage throne. But Naruto's storm eye detected something else. Hidden seals, protection matrices that hummed beneath stone skin. Someone's hardening village defenses. Against what threat? Dust deepened around him like questions compounding. Naruto perched atop Academy building, where countless missions had begun with Kakashi's legendary lateness. Now his enhanced sight traced chakra signatures throughout administrative buildings, noting patterns that raised alarms and ninja instincts honed sharper by cosmic wisdom. Root operatives moving with particular purpose. Council members gathering after hours. Documents sealed with classifications that practically screamed conspiracy, and threading through everything. Danzo's corrupted signature, spreading influence like viral chakra network. That old warhawk's been busy. Time to see exactly what he's planning. Naruto dove into investigation with skills transcending mere ninja stealth. Asgardian shadow walking combined with chakra suppression created invisibility so complete he might as well have stepped between reality's pages. The first scroll of sealing revealed troubling contents. Increased surveillance on returning exiles, threat assessment protocols that read like execution orders. Danzo's handwriting marked margins with clinical precision. Monitor. Observe. Eliminate if necessary. As if they'd have the chance, Naruto thought grimly, thunder humming beneath skin. Let them try. Papers rustled as he delved deeper into classified materials. Village finances showed suspicious transfers, funding going to unmarked projects. Military deployment revealed route expansion. Warhawk preparing wings that cast long shadows. But it was the final document that crystallized everything. Project Isolation containing Jinchuriki threats through controlled exile. Son of a bitch, Naruto breathed, reading how Danzo had orchestrated his banishment as test case for future containment. The old schemer had manipulated council votes, seeded rumors, shaped perspective until exile seemed like necessary prevention rather than punishment. Red paint blurred the words as killing intent leaked through carefully constructed masks. Trees outside council building groaned, leaves turning ashen as divine wrath touched natural chakra networks. Control yourself. Rage won't serve justice. But beneath anger ran calculation cold as space between stars. Danzo had engineered exile that birthed Thunderbearer. Cosmic irony too delicious for mere coincidence. Let's show him the monster he created. Morning exploded bright across Konoha. Village stirring with dawn's reliable rhythm. Naruto had positioned himself perfectly. Rooftop vantage granting full view of market district's morning bustle. His henge flickered as meditation struggled against anticipation's current. Then chaos erupted with precision timing. The first explosion shattered vegetable stands, scattering produce and screams equally. 3 figures in black cloaks materialized through smoke. Bandits choosing sunrise raid when guards might be drowsy. Reflexes dulled by early hour. Everyone freeze. Largest bandit brandished kunai dripping paralytic poison. Valuables on ground. Now, civilians scattered like leaves before hurricane. Parents shielded children. Merchants abandoned stalls. Elderly froze with fear-born arthritis. The bandits moved with practiced efficiency. One hurting victims, another smashing property, third keeping watch. Naruto's finger twitched, old instincts screaming for intervention. Wait, Odin's wisdom counseled. Observe their techniques. Understand the threat. Help! Someone help! Young mother clutched toddler, tears streaming as knife point encouraged cooperation. The leader's laugh scraped like rusted metal. Ninja busy protecting walls, not markets. His eyes gleamed with dangerous knowledge. Perfect timing. Guards changing shifts. Jonin dealing with border tensions. This village ripe for plucking. Enough. Thunder cracked somewhere between thought and action. The hen shattered like dropped mirror, revealing Naruto an aspect terrible and divine. Lightning danced crown-like through silver streaked hair. Storm eye blazing with cosmic judgment. Power rolled off him in waves that made reality ripple. Hey, assholes, voice carried divine harmonics that rattled windows 3 streets over. Didn't anyone teach you? Konoha's under new protection. The bandits turned as one, weapons rising. Leader's bravado cracked visibly. What the fuck? You're not from here. Wrong. Naruto's smile carried too many teeth. I'm exactly from here. And you picked the worst possible day to terrorize my home. Movement exploded faster than ninja-trained eyes could track. First bandit swung blade expecting resistance. Met lightning-wreathed fist instead. The impact launched him into building 3 blocks over. Architecture absorbing impact that should have killed lesser structure. Second attacker formed rapid hand seals. Earth jutsu meant to entomb suddenly appeared threat. But stone crumbled beneath Thunder's song as Naruto walked through geography like suggestion. Rasengan. The spiral crashed into chakra phone barrier, enhanced by divine current. Shield shattered. Bandit followed trajectory of his own defense, sailing unconscious across Market Square. Leader demonstrated actual skill, impressive for criminal scum. His jutsu wove fire and lightning into hybrid assault that illuminated morning with unnatural brightness. Naruto didn't dodge. Lightning struck him rather than at him, drawn like lover to beloved. The attack dissolved into power that strengthened rather than harmed. Storm Eye spun faster, drinking energy that should have destroyed. My turn. He raised one hand. The sky answered immediately, clouds gathering from nowhere. Thunder building promise of cleansing storm. Leader's bravado evaporated with consciousness as lightning struck with surgical precision, paralyzing without killing. 3 seconds. 3 bandits neutralized. A demonstration of power that rewrote morning's narrative. Civilians emerged from hiding cautiously. Disbelief warring with relief. Children peeked from behind parents' legs. Mothers clutched rescued toddlers. Elderly leaned on walking sticks that trembled with more than age. It's safe now, someone whispered. Naruto surveyed the scene with both eyes, human and divine. Property damage minimal. Civilians unharmed. Threat eliminated with efficiency Thor would approve. Time for the show's finale. Citizens of Konoha. His voice carried to every corner of Marketplace and beyond. The exile has returned. And things are about to change. Above him, storm clouds continued gathering. Not natural weather, but power's manifestation. Thunder rolled pronouncement, while lightning wrote invisible promises across sky. From surrounding buildings, ninja emerged. Young Chunin, veteran Jonin, elite guards drawn by commotion that defied standard threat protocols. They stared at figure who wore exile's banishment like crown earned rather than punishment endured. What are you? Bewildered guard demanded, hand hovering near weapon that wisdom suggested would prove inadequate. Naruto's grin carried lightning's own promise. Someone who's ready to have words with the council. Behind them, the storm gathered strength. Within the village's boundaries, power shifts started cascading like dominoes, choosing new patterns. The returning exile had announced himself spectacularly, and Kanahigaku's destiny prepared for divine realignment. Thunder wasn't meteorological. It was the sound of destiny arriving early to its own funeral. The council chamber doors exploded inward with deafening crack, ancient hinges shrieking protest as reality warped around intruding force. Dust cascaded from centuries-old rafters as the assembled leaders of Konoha froze mid-debate, words dying on lips suddenly parched by power's proximity. Naruto Uzumaki stepped through smoke and splinters like God emerging from storm cloud. Tsunade's sake cup shattered against stone floor. Danzo's single eye widened microscopically. For him, seismic shift of visible emotion. Village defense meeting? Naruto's voice carried harmonic resonance that rattled ceremonial weapons mounted on walls. Lightning flickered behind Stormblessed pupil as grin split features that somehow housed both familiar fox whiskers and newly acquired divine authority. Perfect timing. I've got views on the subject. Naruto? Tsunade half rose, disbelief battling hope across war-worn features. But you're back from exile? Yeah. He strolled to the chamber's center where defensive arrays normally channeled protective chakra. Power rolled off him in visible waves, making the air thick as underwater current. Learned a few tricks while wandering. Want to see? Counselor Hamura cleared throat like grinding those stones. This is inappropriate. The council recognized your exile only, lightning faster than synaptic transmission. Naruto's hand blurred. Not with speed but with physics-defying grace that made the movement simultaneously instantaneous and eternal. The resulting thunderclap painted after images across everyone's retinas. Where his palm had gestured toward vacant air, reality now bore cosmic stain. Runes of power etched into atmosphere itself, glowing with light that had no earthly spectrum. The inscriptions pulsed once, twice, then detonated into shower of harmless sparks that nonetheless spoke volumes about capabilities returned from exile. Hamura-sama, Naruto addressed the stunned elder with respect carrying iron undertones. I completed my exile. By your own rules, I return with renewed rights of citizenship. Danzo leaned forward incrementally, bandaged fingers tightening on cane head carved from chakra conductive whip. You return changed. Such transformations rarely prove beneficial to village stability. Funny thing about stability, Naruto replied, electric eye tracking micro-expressions across assembled faces. Sometimes evolution demands earthquake before new foundation can be laid. Explain yourself? Koharu's demand cracked like whip testing new tension. What manner of training produces such alterations? Naruto's laugh carried echoes of thunderstorm and distant wisdom. Met some people. Old people. Really old people who remember when storms had names and thunder answered prayers. He rolled shoulders that moved with predatory fluidity unknown to mere ninja physics. Ancient thunder sages. They showed me how power flows when you stop fighting current and start riding the lightning. Thunder sages? Tsunade scoffed, not disbelief but desperate need for rational anchoring. There's no recorded, records burn. Legends fade. But power? Naruto thrust palms skyward. The ceiling, solid architecture reinforced by protective seals since the founding, crackled with responsive energy. Power remembers its source. Lightning didn't so much strike as bloom. Tendrils of electrical divinity spiraled down through building that should have grounded such force, instead channeling brilliance into display that painted shadows dancing like celebrating spirits. When radiance faded, counselors blinked away cosmic afterimages. 6 months, Tsunade whispered. Data collection mode engaging as medic means I catalogued impossible physiological markers. 6 months produced this metamorphosis? Time's relative, Naruto offered cryptically. Especially when threading dimensional needles. The admission hung pregnant with implications. Dimensional travel? Had exile driven their troublesome hero into forbidden realms of space-time manipulation? Forbidden arts, Danzo pronounced with serpentine satisfaction. Consorting with powers beyond village sanction. This confirms my warning about inherent instability. Nothing's forbidden to someone returning home to protect it. Naruto's interruption carried steel wrapped in silk. Especially when home needs protection from threats it can't see coming. Silence settled heavy as lead blanket. Outside, storm clouds continued gathering. Konoha's weather patterns responding to power that defied meteorological classification. Threats? Tsunade leaned forward, Hokage's instinct overriding personal reactions. Explain. Naruto met her gaze, mortal ember locked with storm-touched azure. Ancient enemies. Powers that make the Akatsuki look like academy students. Dimensional predators tracking cosmic signatures left by technique abuse and forbidden experiments. His voice dropped octave lower, carrying threat assessment honed by Odin himself. They're coming. We need to be ready. The council erupted into cacophony. Ancient rivals shouted over each other, theories battling accusations, fear wrestling pragmatism. Through chaos, Tsunade maintained eye contact with her returned ninja, reading truth in features that bore too much maturity for 20-month duration. Silence. Her fist cratered the council table's exact center. Wood shards and bureaucratic outrage reigned equally. Naruto. Tomorrow, noon, my office. Full debriefing. She turned basilisk glare across assembled leadership. Until then, he stays. He's earned that much. With observation, Danzo interjected smoothly. Unprecedented power demands unprecedented oversight. You want oversight? Naruto's grin carried too many sharp edges. Go ahead. Watch me reintegrate. Watch me train others. Watch me prepare defenses that'll save our collective asses when reality comes calling. The challenge hung like drawn sword. Danzo's visible features remained carefully neutral, but the air around him tasted of frustrated schemes. Tsunade hammered finality with exhausted authority. Meeting adjourned. Naruto, Barracks Level C, Room 7. Standard equipment issue tomorrow. For now her voice softened infinitesimally. Welcome home, brat. Afternoon sun painted Konoha in photographic nostalgia as Naruto emerged from administrative numbness. Reality felt simultaneously alien and achingly familiar, like returning childhood home to find furniture same but perspective irreversibly different. Teams of ninja moved through streets with purposeful grace. Merchants haggled with theatrical fervor. Children played tag around training posts worn smooth by generations of aspiring shadowwalkers. Normal day in hidden village, except gossip flew faster than quickest kunai regarding transformed Exile's dramatic return. Yo! The voice preceded its owner like shock wave before explosion. Naruto pivoted, instinct placing body between potential threat and Shikamaru. The name carried weight of shared lifetime compressed into 6-month absence. Still lazy as ever? The Shadow Master appeared through crowd like physics gave permission grudgingly, eyes calculating variables behind deceptively bored expression. Troublesome timing. Was just telling Ino about strategic implications of extended exile returns. He studied Naruto with analytical precision. Appearance suggests accelerated development beyond normal training parameters. Miss you too, Pineapple Head. Naruto's grin felt both familiar and strange on features that bore divine transformation. Naruto? Second voice, higher pitch, recognition dawning like slow sunrise. Sakura pushed through gathering crowd, medical instincts warring with personal emotion. Gods, is that really? You look different, he supplied helpfully. Stronger too. Wanna check my vitals? Might find surprises. Professional curiosity proved stronger than social awkwardness. Sakura's chakra-enhanced fingers pressed assessment points that read bioelectric signature like novel written in cellular script. Her eyes widened incrementally with each reading. Impossible. Your chakra network spin. She paused, searching terminology for unprecedented discoveries. Expanded. Reinforced at fundamental level. Even your baseline output suggests capacities rivaling. Jiraiya-sensei? The new arrival cut through analysis like hot blade through chakra strings. Kakashi materialized from thin air. Literally, his signature entrance technique still showcasing theatrical mastery. Visible eye crinkled with emotion too complex for simple labeling. Naruto. Single word contained volumes. Team 7's sensei approached with characteristic laziness masking predatory assessment. Heard interesting rumors about council chambers being renovated by force. Needed ventilation anyway. Naruto turned, meeting his sensei's gaze unflinchingly. Miss me? Kakashi's hand rose to ruffle orange hair, stopped short, fingers hovering over silver-streaked spikes. Your hair's different. Everything's different. The admission settled between them like signed treaty acknowledging change territory. Around them, more familiar faces gravitated. Lee's bounded enthusiasm, Tenten's controlled curiosity, Niji's analytical observation from appropriate distance, youthful return. Lee's declaration rattled windows 3 blocks over. The spring of friendship blooms eternal. He struck dramatic pose that somehow transcended cringe through sheer commitment. Show me your newfound techniques. Let us test limits under beautiful sunset. Slow down, bushy brows. Naruto laughed. Familiar warmth blooming beneath lightning-touched chest. First day back. Gotta pace the reunion. But the energy proved infectious. Bodies gravitated closer, reforming circle that had centered their ninja generation through Chunin exams, Sasuke's defection. Countless missions that forged bonds stronger than chakra coils. Your eyes, Hinata's whisper carried across renewed distance despite physical proximity. Byakugan activated unconsciously, tracking energy flows that defied Dōjutsu classification. They see differently now. Everything looks different, Naruto acknowledged, noting how friends bore their own transformations. Sakura's chakra control suggested medical mastery beyond village standards. Shikamaru's shadow techniques incorporated variations that spoke of brutal efficiency learned through necessity. Even lazy Kakashi-sensei moved with subtle improvements in weight distribution and reaction timing. 6 months had left marks on everyone. Training later? Niji posed the question like challenge wrapped in invitation. Your enhancements would test interesting against Byakugan's evolution. Tomorrow, Naruto promised. Today's for he gestured at gathering that had grown beyond ninja participants. Civilians pressed closer, whispering about Demon Fox who'd returned wearing Legend's face. Children pointed with innocent audacity. Merchants calculated potential profit from newfound celebrity. Celebrity management, Kakashi finished dryly. Some things never change. Though I suspect your methods have evolved. Speaking of evolution, Shikamaru interrupted with strategic timing. Briefing tomorrow includes tactical integration discussions. Your displayed capabilities suggest unconventional applications for standard formations. Formations already evolving. Naruto indicated friends with gesture encompassing more than physical space. We're not the kids who bumbled through academy anymore. Time to show Konoha what Ninja 2.0 looks like. Lightning flickered approval overhead. Storm clouds that had tracked his arrival now began dissipating under late afternoon sun. Atmospheric normalcy reasserting control over divine manifestation. But normality remained relative concept. Naruto felt home's embrace differently than memory suggested. 6 months' exile had transformed not just youth but the very concept of belonging. He'd left as failure. Ninja who couldn't save his friend. Returned as something unprecedented. Bridge between realms carrying wisdom and warning about threats beyond imagination. The gathering gradually dispersed, called by duty or discretion. Final promises echoed. Training tomorrow. Debriefing schedules. Informal ramen reunion that tradition demanded. Standing alone on street that had watched him grow from hated orphan to acknowledged hero to cosmic touched warrior. Naruto felt perspective shift like tectonic adjustment. Konoha remained same physical spaces, buildings, pathways, chakra marks etched into architecture by generations of ninja. But meaning had evolved. 6 months ago, he'd walked these streets believing exile represented failure absolute. Now he recognized initiation disguised as punishment. Banishment had birthed the very power needed to protect village that feared him. Funny how the universe works, he murmured to Storm that followed his journey home. Guess that's what they mean by destiny. Lightning winked agreement before chasing final clouds toward horizon. Tomorrow would bring integration of impossibility into everyday village life. Tonight demanded rest that came difficult when cosmic awareness kept whispering warnings about approaching darkness. Naruto turned toward quarters that would temporarily house him. Room among barracks that once represented imprisonment during Nine-Tailed Seal's crucial stabilization. Now quarters volunteered willingly by ninja who'd returned bearing solutions rather than problems. Exile's ending had birthed Thunder Bearer's beginning, and the storm was just getting started. Midnight painted Konoha in ribbons of shadow ink and moonbeam silver. The village breathing softly beneath its blanket of false peace. But 3A and BU moved through darkness like predatory whispers. Root operatives bearing chakra signatures scrubbed clean of identifying markers. Tools honed for assassination's delicate mathematics. Their target, Barracks Level C, Room 7. Their mission, eliminate the anomaly who'd returned wearing divine authority. Remember, the lead operative hissed through masks that portrayed Raven's angular face. No traces. Make it look like overload from unstable power. The Nine Tails awakening too violently. Understood. Clean death. They struck window seals with nerve gas kunai. Sleeping victims couldn't scream. Couldn't warn anyone about what nightmares stalked Hidden Leaf's shadows. Except Naruto wasn't sleeping. You know, his voice drifted from darkness inside room that should have been tomb by now. I worked with his guardian assassins too. Taught me some interesting tricks about midnight operations. 3 heartbeats spiked. 3 warriors froze. Like how divine perception makes sneak attacks adorably quaint. Lightning erupted. Not from hands but environment itself. Rooms very air ignited as Naruto revealed himself. Storm eye blazing with cosmic illumination that painted operatives in harsh relief. His smile promised violence wrapped in thunder's song. Tell Danzo I said hi. They moved like professionals. Years training forged into kill reflexes that operated below conscious thought. The raven-masked assassin flickered left, twin Kodachi spinning death patterns. His partner dove low, shadow walking through floor itself. Third became mist, chakra dispersing into lethal cloud. Naruto's laugh carried harmonics that cracked window glass. Here's what I learned in Asgard. Efficiency. He moved through their attack like thought through resistance. The first assassin's blades met flesh that sparked against steel. Divine reinforcement turning skin harder than forged chakra metal. Counter-strike launched the operative through wall without effort, sending him tumbling into midnight sky like poorly thrown shuriken. Shadow Walker emerged beneath Naruto's feet. Blade sought spine through shadow passage, found lightning instead. Pure electricity cascaded down traditional ninja technique, overloading yin chakra with yang energy that burned pathway connections. The assassin materialized screaming, neural damage painting agony across masked features. And that's the difference, Naruto explained conversationally while Miss Form regrouped for finishing assault. You fight like it's still old world. I fight like I've seen what comes next. The cloud condensed into 1,000 needles. Classic hidden mist killer technique. But Naruto didn't block. Didn't dodge. Didn't even flinch. His hands formed seal that shouldn't exist in any ninja manual. Thor taught me something beautiful. Partnership between elements. Thunder roared. Not jutsu summon but reality-shaking pronouncement. Lightning and wind merged into tempest that devoured mist like hungry thought, redirecting needles back toward source with interest compounded by divine fury. The final assassin crashed through opposite wall, acupunctured by his own technique. Silence stretched. 3 root operatives lay broken. Not dead, killing remained unworthy of evolved perspective, but thoroughly neutralized by skills they couldn't comprehend. Naruto stood amid devastation. Storm marks glowing beneath skin that bore either wound nor fatigue. Right. Time to visit Daddy Dearest. Lightning fingers traced assassination pattern across moonlit air. His enhanced perception read chakra residue like manuscript, tracking energy signatures that spoke of origins hidden beneath villages' foundations. Root headquarters pulsed like infected tooth in Konoha's subterranean network. Let's go have words about attempted murder. He dissolved into lightning, traversing distance through paths electric rather than physical. Within heartbeats, Naruto materialized before sealed concrete that hid Danzo's true base. The door resisted. Chakra barriers layer thick as winter ice, seals interwoven with sacrificial blood ink, protection matrices that would stymie even S-rank intrusion attempts. Naruto pressed palm against obstacle. Asgardian runecraft trumps human security. Every single time. Storm eye blazed. Ancient symbols flowed from his fingers like living calligraphy, inscribing reality with meaning older than ninja arts. Runes of opening, liberation, truth exposing, power words learned from masters who taught Thor himself. The barriers shattered like dreams upon waking. Inside, darkness deeper than absence of light waited. Root headquarters sprawled through hidden caverns that architects never documented. Rooms carved from living rock where secrets festered like unopened wounds. Naruto stalked through corridors that had never felt footsteps outside prescribed personnel. His divinely enhanced senses painted truth across perceptions. Chakra traces revealed patterns of movement. Fierce think lingered where operatives learned hard lessons. The metallic tang of old blood spoke volumes about interrogation chambers. Guards materialized from shadow posts. Elite root, not half-trained assassins but war-honed killers. They didn't announce. Didn't warn. Simply struck with coordinated precision that would overwhelm most ninja. But Naruto read their intentions through fate threads only storm-blessed sight revealed. Attack vectors became probability maps. Killing blows transformed into mathematical certainties he could casually rewrite. First guard's blade sparked against lightning-wreathed forearm. Second operative's poison cloud met runic ward that converted toxin to harmless vapor. Third warrior attempted genjutsu mastery against mind that had touched cosmic truth. Illusions? Naruto's voice carried pity. I've danced with divine realities. This is amateur hour. He moved with efficiency Thor would applaud. Each strike calculated for minimal effort, maximum impact. Palm strikes sent warriors flying through reinforced walls they thought impenetrable. Lightning-enhanced speed made their combat formations dissolve into confused individuals before killing instinct could coordinate properly. Within minutes, elite security lay scattered like leaves before hurricane. Naruto continued deeper, following instinct married to divine perception. The war room emerged from darkness, cavernous chamber where Danzo orchestrated operations that official leadership couldn't acknowledge. Maps covered walls like tapestries of planned conflicts. Documents spoke of assassinations, provocations, schemes that would make his former sensei proud. But deeper, the hell? Hidden panel revealed secondary chamber that reeked of forbidden knowledge. Scrolls bore markings that made chakra recoil. Seals drawn with ink that whispered cosmic wrongness. Naruto recognized symbols learned from Odin, corrupted into purposes that twisted divine geometry into summoning matrices. Void seekers. His whisper carried horror that had no earthly spectrum. Danzo's been researching dimensional parasites? The implications crashed like collapsing realities. The council member who'd engineered his exile had been studying, preparing, for threats that shouldn't appear for years. Threats only someone who touched cosmic awareness could properly identify. You weren't just paranoid about Jinchuriki, Naruto realized aloud. You knew. Somehow you knew. Perceptive, Danzo's voice cut through revelation like scalpel through flesh. Though late. Always so very late, Ninetales. The war hawk emerged from shadows that seemed to cling like loyal black. Bandages revealed more than they concealed. One arm bore seals that corded muscle like parasitic growth. Eye socket leaked darkness that had no mundane origin. Naruto's storm sight read true nature immediately. You didn't just research them. You made contact. Contact creates understanding. Danzo stepped closer, cane tapping rhythm of arrogance against stone. Understanding enables preparation. While village leadership plays at peace, I forge weapons against inevitable war. By dealing with things that devour reality? Lightning crackled between Naruto's fingers involuntarily. You're not protecting Konoha. You're inviting annihilation, says the boy playing God. Danzo's laugh scraped like rusty kunai. So quick to judge power beyond comprehension. You think your Thunder Sage transformation makes you wise? I've gazed into Void's heart. His bandages unwound deliberately. The arm beneath bore skin covered in Sharingan eyes, not just implanted but integrated. Weeping darkness that wasn't blood. His covered eye revealed itself last. Pupil replaced by spiral that consumed light like miniature black hole. Roots research uncovered cosmic truth before your accidental enlightenment, the elder continued. We found ways to negotiate with inevitable. Bargain for survival when gods fail. Bargain? Naruto's voice dropped octave lower. Divine harmonics painting air electric. They don't bargain. They consume. Every realm. Every reality. There's no treaty with hunger incarnate. Perspective shapes truth. Danzo formed seals that defied orthodox classification. You've touched divinity briefly. I've embraced void eternally. The ritual circle blazed beneath their feet, summoning matrices that had taken years to scribe properly. Power flowed through conduits that made air taste like universe's ending. Where Danzo stood, reality thinned like paper beneath flame. This is why you hated Jinchuriki, Naruto understood with horrible clarity. Not fear of demons. Fear we'd recognize your true masters when they arrived. The Ninetales nearly served this purpose once, Danzo admitted. Alas, Minato's seal proved too stable. His son two eyes narrowed. Resistant to proper motivation, the summoning reached critical threshold. Darkness poured through dimensional tears like liquid shadow given hunger. Void essence touched mortal realm, beginning consumption that would hollow Konoha from hidden depths upward. Stop the ritual. Naruto commanded, divine authority crackling through syllables. Too late. Danzo spread arms like conductor before cosmic orchestra. Behold humanity's negotiated survival, but his triumph curdled instantly. The void entities that manifested didn't bow. They turned toward their would-be master with awareness terrible as extinction itself. You fool! Naruto's realization struck like lightning. They never bargained. They used you as beacon. Tendrils of impossible darkness reached for Danzo with casual certainty. The war hawk's confidence shattered like dropped glass, replaced by terror he hadn't known since childhood. The seal patterns. He gestured frantically. They promise control if they promise lies. Naruto moved before thought completed. Lightning erupted not at enemies but at summoning matrices themselves. Thunder Rasengan, enhanced by divine knowledge of runic disruption, crashed into power flows that sustained dimensional breach. Reality screamed. The void entities thrashed with frustration that curdled space-time. Darkness recoiled like snake from fire as Naruto's hybrid techniques unraveled complex magic that had taken Danzo years to compile. You destroy everything. The elder's scream carried madness born from shattered worldview. Konoha's salvation was never in Void's grip. Naruto roared back, pouring lightning through seals that crumbled beneath divine assault. The final matrix shattered. Summoning portal collapsed with implosion that sent both warriors flying. When vision cleared, darkness had retreated beyond dimensional barriers. But the chamber bore scars that would never fully heal. And Danzo, the war hawk, lay broken, bandages shredded, implanted eyes weeping blood that carried cosmic taint. His spiral gaze fixated on Naruto with hatred transcending human spectrum. "You chose wrong side," words bubble through damaged throat. "When truth arrives, all will understand. I chose life." Naruto stood over defeated mentor, storm eye blazing with judgment. "You chose fear. They're nothing alike." Danzo's laugh became cough that painted floor with darkness. Naive even with Thunder God's blessing, his energy faded like whisper. Not death. Breathing continued, but consciousness fled whatever responsibility required facing. Naruto studied the fallen elder, then the defiled chamber that held evidence of conspiracies spanning decades. Root's true purpose lay exposed, not protecting Konoha, but preparing capitulation when cosmic predators arrived. Some secrets deserve light. He gathered documentation, artifacts, proof that would reshape village leadership's understanding of threats they faced. Thunder hummed beneath skin as moral weight settled. He'd stopped immediate danger but uncovered existential crisis that would test Konoha's spirit. Lightning traced his departure through corridors that would never again hide forbidden knowledge. Behind him, Root's headquarters began collapsing. Divine energy had damaged more than visible structures. An era of shadow operations ended with Thunder's pronouncement. Dawn painted his emergence in promise gold and warning red. Konoha slept on, unaware their secret protector had nearly invited oblivion through door thoughtfully unlocked. Naruto climbed toward Hokage Monument. Evidence secured, certainty absolute. Tomorrow would bring revelation that tested village's core. Tonight demanded preparation for conversations that would reshape destiny. Above, storm clouds gathered not with threat but protection. The thunder bearer stood guard while village dreamed, cosmic awareness keeping vigil against shadows that moved from within and without. Danzo's defeat was beginning, not end. Real war approached with footsteps reality itself couldn't muffle forever. But for now, for one sacred moment between crises, peace reigned supreme over Hidden Leaf. And the exile who'd returned bearing thunder waited patiently for dawn to herald necessary truth. Reality tasted wrong. Naruto's Raijin no Mi blazed crimson warning as dimensional fabric thinned like worn cloth beneath cosmic weight. The Emergency War Council had barely reconvened since his Danzo revelation when the first her appeared. Not where, but when, manifesting above the Hokage monument like wound in the sky itself. Defensive positions. Tsunade's command cracked like whip. Medical chakra already coiling for mass triage. All shinobi to stations, but Naruto saw deeper. Saw true. "They're not coming through one breach," he called, voice carrying Thor's top projection. Void seekers hunt like wolves, coordinate attacks, probe weakness. His divine eye tracked probability threads painting the air in hues of probability. 7 points. 7 tiers across the village. Shikamaru's mind clicked tactical math instantly. Fuck standard formations. We need multi-point containment. Naruto, your enhanced senses. I'll run Vanguard. The Thunder Bearer moved before authorization. Lightning already coiling like serpent beneath skin. Keep ninja forces mobile. I'll mark positions, draw main fire. Thunder answered his motion. No longer mere sound, but conscious response to warrior's will. He launched skyward just as the first Void Seeker breached dimensional barrier. It was nightmare-given form. Liquid darkness that defied three-dimensional logic. Appendages that seemed to exist in negative space. A presence that sucked light from air around it. "Hey, ugly!" Naruto's shout carried more than sound. "Pick on someone who can fight back." He dove. Thunder's velocity painted contrails as he engaged. The beast turned, if such creatures possessed forward-facing, and revealed awareness terrible as black holes' gravity. For one frozen instant, Naruto glimpsed Void's endless hunger. Reality-ending appetite that knew no satisfaction. Then lightning met darkness head-on. The impact detonated across Konoha's skyline. Buildings trembled. Trees bowed like supplicants before divine rage. When Naruto struck Void Flesh, electricity didn't simply damage. It existed with such fervent intensity that non-being couldn't maintain cohesion. Raijin no Mi, divine sight release. His left eye exploded with power that rewrote local physics. Lightning painted reality's bones visible, revealing weak points in the creature's architecture. Its form flickered, quantum uncertainty made tangible. As divine perception mapped vulnerabilities unknown to mundane eyes, the Void Seeker recoiled. Naruto pressed advantage with Thunder Rasengan that carried Mjolnir's own conviction. The sphere carved through alien anatomy like meaning through chaos. Below, ninja forces mobilized with clockwork precision. Kakashi led elite squads toward breach points. Sakura established medical command that glowed green with healing readiness. Teams moved like blood cells responding to infection, each filling necessary role as greater organism fought for survival. Naruto. Thor's voice boomed across impossible distance. The Rainbow Bridge responds to need. Above skyline, aurora light split heaven. Rainbow fragments coalesced into Bifrost's temporary manifestation. Bridge built for emergency reinforcement. Through blazing pathway came Asgardian warriors, Thor at forefront riding Mjolnir's arc like surfer upon cosmic wave. Odinson. Naruto's laugh carried pure battle joy. About time you showed up, my friend. Thor descended trailing lightning. I bring 50 warriors, and more importantly, knowledge of Void Beast weakness. Blue eyes blaze with divine fury. They fear iron. Pure elements ground their quantum existence. The information cascaded through Naruto's enhanced consciousness. Iron, not just metal, but concept given form. Binding force that anchored reality against Void's dissolution. Shikamaru! He broadcasted understanding. Metal users to frontline. Earth-style jutsu for containment barriers. Iron composition primary focus. Orders transformed into action seamlessly. Earth-natured ninja formed ranks. Rock and metal responded to chakra command, rising like living architecture to form barrier walls laced with iron-heavy content. The second Void Seeker crashed through tier near Market District. Civilians scattered just as Lady Sif descended like Valkyrie, sword blazing with runic power. Her blade carved reality-stabilizing patterns, each strike anchoring dimensional integrity. For Asgard and allies. She rally-cried while decapitating tentacles that existed in 4 dimensions simultaneously. For Konoha. Young Chunin answered, recognizing cosmic cavalry for what it represented. Survival chance beyond local capability. Naruto pivoted between battles like lightning seeking ground. His powers synergized perfectly with Asgardian tactics. When Norse magic established runic containment, his Thunder Rasengan reinforced boundaries. Viking shields met ninja smokescreens in combinations that boggled enemy pattern recognition, but the Void Seekers adapted. Too many tears. Guys panting carried exhaustion as he emerged from third breach. They learned from each defense. Naruto's divine eye tracked the terrible truth. Each closed portal spawned 2 replacements. Mathematical progression that doomed through sheer multiplication. The original summoning, he realized with horror crystalline as Asgardian glacier. Danzo's ritual opened primary pathway. These are aftershocks, reality cracks spreading from epicenter. Thor spun Mjolnir thoughtfully. Then we strike the source. Seal primary breach. Others collapse automatically. Where? Tsunade demanded between healing bursts. Her chakra reserves depleted rapidly. War's gone multidimensional. How do we find ground zero? Naruto closed human eye. Let Raijin Nomi blaze full intensity. Divine perception peeled away reality's layers like translucent paper. He saw the intricate web of dimensional tiers. Traced energy flows backward through quantum tunnels. Followed probability threads to their source point. Valley of the End, he whispered. Where Madara and Hashirama's power scarred reality decades ago, the cracks never truly healed. Danzo's ritual chose the weakest point. His voice rose to battle thunder. We ride for the valley. Thor grinned fierce approval. Split forces. Half maintain defense here, half strike source. Orders cascaded. Volunteers sorted themselves through exhaustion haze. Naruto noted faces among those choosing the suicide run. Kakashi, Sakura, Shikamaru, Guy. Core trust welded through countless missions. Thor, you command here, Naruto declared. Your hammer stabilizes rifts better than any jutsu. And leave you lead without Asgardian might? The thunder gods laughed boomed incredulous. Brother, I ride where storm calls loudest. They launched as one. Ninja and Norse warrior merged into single strike force. Ground 8 distance Humberly has speed defied mortal limitations. Behind them, Konoha bought time and blood and lightning, holding the line while champions sought the source. The valley's famous statues grew from horizon. Madara and Hashirama locked in eternal combat stance. But between their frozen battlefield, reality hemorrhaged darkness worse than any wound. Here, the prime breach yawned like maw of infinity itself. Gods, Sakura breathed. How do we close that? Naruto landed first. Storm Eye analyzing energy flows thick as molasses. The Sage of Six Pads chakra still echoes here. Combined with Uchiha Senju power clash, created perfect weakness for Void Spawn to exploit. Then we seal it stronger than original damage, Shikamaru calculated swiftly. But what seal contains infinite consumption? Naruto's heart knew before mind accepted. Prophecy's weight settled like lover's last kiss. The Thunder Eye, he said simply. Divine power bridging realms. Only thing that can weave reality shut. Thor gripped his shoulder hard enough to crack lesser bones. Brother, no. Such sacrifice is why I was chosen. Naruto's roar carried divine harmonics. Exile wasn't punishment. Asgard wasn't accident. I was prepared for this exact moment. He moved to Breach's center, where darkness pulled gravity into question. Each step required will forged in cosmic anvil. Around him, friends formed protective circle as Void Spawn emerged like birthing nightmares. Protect him, Shikamaru commanded. By time for the seal, battle exploded into choreography of desperation. Shadow clones multiplied real warriors. Thor's lightning married Gai's taijutsu and danced that painted air electric. Medical ninjas fought to sustain the living while Asgardian runes provided metaphysical support. Naruto reached Prime Breach's exact center. Felt void hunger pulling at borrowed divinity, cosmic appetite that recognized kindred power. His left eye blazed so bright allies shielded their vision. Rage in no Mi, ultimate sacrifice technique. Lightning erupted not from him, but through him. Thor's lessons crystallized perfectly. Warrior becoming conduit rather than wielder. Divine Eye channeled reality's own outrage at void intrusion, focused through ninja determination, amplified by bridges built between worlds. The technique wasn't really named. Wasn't technically possible. But power defined limits, not was constrained by them. Energy tore through Naruto like glass through silk. His left eye seared white hot as divine essence extracted its ultimate cost. Vision became pure concept, seeing reality's own structure, manipulating cosmic web that maintained existence integrity. For Konoha, his scream carried universe-ending conviction. For Asgard, lightning wove reality like spider crafting dimensional tapestry. Divine threads penetrated void stuff, binding darkness with existence-affirming power. The Prime Breach fought closure tooth and metaphysical claw. But what forged in thunder cannot be broken by mere cosmic hunger. With scream that shattered sound's definition, Naruto pulled reality closed. Divine power spent itself completely. Raijin no Mi's god-touched essence fulfilling ultimate purpose. Light exploded. When vision returned, silence reigned supreme. The Prime Breach had sealed. Around Konoha, lesser rifts collapsed like dominoes denied foundation. Void seekers dissipated, lacking purchase on reality now properly reinforced. Naruto swayed. Lightning no longer answered his call. His left eye, once storm-blessed, now shone mortal blue again. Divine gift consumed in saving two worlds. You did it, Thor's voice carried odd respect. The prophecy fulfilled. Bridge warrior standing where worlds meet, sacrificing godhood for greater purpose. Just another day, Naruto whispered, exhaustion crashing like tsunami. For a ninja, around them, cheers erupted. Konoha's defenders realizing cosmic victory. Asgardian warriors honoring sacrifice that transcended realms. In that moment, dimensional barriers felt thinner but not to Void Seeker's advantage. Understanding had built bridge of different sort. Heimdall's farsight manifested. Rainbow projection connecting Asgard to battlefield. Well done, Thunderbearer. The void retreats from realms. Your sacrifice echoes through 9 worlds. Odin appeared beside his guardian. Single eye blazing approval that required no words. I'll need that coffee date postponed, Naruto joked weakly. When you've healed, the Allfather promised. Bridge remains open, not for invasion, but friendship between realms. Vision faded as Bifrost energy withdrew. Divine forces had reinforced reality, now retreated to maintenance mode rather than active war. Sakura knelt beside Naruto, medical chakra painting green concern. Your eye, the divine essence is gone. Still got one good one, he quipped. Plus ninja training doesn't need god mode to kick ass. Kakashi's hand ruffled hair. Silver streaks remained as cosmic souvenir. Mission accomplished. Recognized shinobi. Recognized? Naruto questioned through fog of fatigue. Full ninja restoration, Tsunade declared firmly, approaching with leadership that had never doubted. Not truly. Plus promotion to Special Jonin. Operation Commander for extra-dimensional threats. First Order, Shikamaru suggested. Long-term vacation. Exhausted laughter rippled through survivors. Around them, Konoha began rebuilding what Void Spawn had damaged. But work carried lighter weight. Crisis survived could be healed. Thor helped Naruto stand. When you visit again, and you will visit, we'll celebrate properly. Asgardian feast that matches cosmic victory. Deal, Naruto grinned. Bring the good ale this time. I do not bring good ale. I am good ale. Their laughter carried across Valley of End, where statues stood witness to new legend birth. Naruto had sealed more than dimensional breach. He preserved reality's integrity through while transcending boundaries physical and metaphysical. The journey home proved gentle. Comrades ensured exhausted hero didn't fall during return trip. As Konoha's walls rose from horizon, a crowd gathered. Not with fear, not with hatred. With gratitude and understanding hard won. Village gates opened to welcome their prodigal ninja. Transformed again but never truly lost. Naruto Uzumaki passed threshold with smile lighting features that bore cosmic scars like badges of honor. Divine power spent, ninja heritage remained. Heart still beat with determination that had launched him beyond expectations. Next time the village exiles someone, Irika called from crowd, voice thick with emotion. Maybe check if they return with god powers first. Laughter welcomed him home. Genuine, unforced, accepting. The Thunder Bearer had sacrificed his divine I but gained something more precious. Certainty that home meant more than birthright. Belonging transcended difference. And proper ninja protected reality itself, when necessary. Above Konoha, storm clouds drifted peacefully. Thunder rumbled gentle approval. Cosmic force acknowledging mortal warrior who'd borrowed its power. Then returned divine grace with maturity that honored the gift. Epilogue of one story merged seamlessly into prologue of next. Naruto's legend evolved from demon container to sacrifice-willing guardian. Ninja who touched heaven's fire and shared warmth rather than hoarding illumination. At the Hokage's office, paperwork waited. At training grounds, students demanded stories about cosmic warfare. At Ichiraku's, ramen bowls anticipated proper celebration. But first, rest. Hard-earned sleep where dreams carried echoes of Asgardian halls but anchored firmly in hidden leaf soil. Balance achieved between realms. Between power's price and friendship's worth. Naruto closed his eyes. Both human blue now, divine sight sacrificed, and smiled. The bridge between worlds remained stable. The warrior returned home. And tomorrow's possibilities stretched infinite as Thunder's potential. Ready for ninja whose legend had only just begun writing headlines. The Thunder Bearer rested. The storm song continued, and in the space between realities, understanding bloomed like spring's first cherry blossom, promising harmony rather than conflict when dimensions next dared to dance.